What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another amazing Naruto story. What if Naruto turned evil after the Chunin exams? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. And also check the description box to original creator of this beautiful creation. Why Iruka, why would you do this? Said Naruto, to the blood-covered Iruka. It had only been 30 seconds, but in that time Naruto had used his red chakra to preform Gakido Coffin. A powerful attack causing his red chakra arms granted by the Kyuubi that lived within him to grip Iruka body and wound him. Of course Naruto didn't know this. Iruka had a mask on. After wounding him, Naruto came close and removed him mask, causing him to see Iruka. Because you took them from me. I took who from you? My family, you killed them. What? When you were born, the fourth Hokage sealed the Kyuubi into you. It took over your body and is controlling you like a puppet. You are the nine-tailed fox. No, this can't be, he said, taking a few steps back. No, 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 he yelled. Red chakra covered his body. A massive sphere red chakra hovered around his body as a lightning-like red chakra shocked the ground and destroyed trees. Red liquid-like chakra seeped through the ground and the sphere and launched itself into Naruto's forehead. The kanji for Oni was engraved on his forehead. Ah! The 6-year-old screamed in pain as the demon's chakra filled his body. The shock wave from the completion of his branding killed Iruka, as his body exploded into chunks of meaty red chunks, each slapped across the grass ground or towards a tree or bush. Quickly Kakashi and Mizuki appeared. Once they arrived, they found the young boy and the corpse of Iruka. As they approached the boy, they could hear his whispering. Make it stop, the pain, make it stop. I am a demon. No, I am the prison of a demon. No, yes, I am a demon. I am evil. I should die or be crucified. Maybe they will burn me. The stairs will never stop. Mommy and Daddy, save me. They carefully approached the young boy. Kakashi put his hand on his shoulder. Immediately Naruto crawled away. Get back, I'll kill you. Don't get too close to me, it's under my skin. The demon, it's under my skin. Both Kakashi and Mizuki looked at each other worried, even though Mizuki thought he could kill him right then and there. Stay away, it's under my skin, he yelled, causing a shockwave. Instantly Kakashi and Mizuki were propelled away from Naruto, who had got up and ran off into the forest. After running for some time, he began to calm down, but this Naruto wasn't the old smiley, I am gonna be Hokage, Naruto. It was now more of a, I want to kill everyone, Naruto, a different Naruto, a demonic Naruto. I am a demon that will crush all who oppose me. That is what I am. A demon forevermore, he declared to himself as he looked over the village, ironically on top of the fourth Hokage's stone face. 7 years later, Naruto woke up inside his apartment, on the couch with a book over his face. I must have fell asleep again, he thought. Anyway, I better put on my performance. For the last 7 years Naruto had pretended nothing happened while at the academy, still shunned by the children except for the Hyuga girl. The boy would be radically different during nightfall. Soon after, Naruto's personality would shift back into his true self, his evil self. After getting dressed in a new set of clothes, the young blonde wore a red open tracksuit with black details and a collar, black shirt and red and black pants which had a red line across the right leg. On the shirt Naruto's clan symbol appeared on the front and he wore his new ninja headband. Still, the young boy walked onto the academy. As he got there, he sat at his normal space. After graduating, he sat down for last time in his normal spot, waiting for his new sensei. Finally he could show them all who he really was without having to worry about what the children think. Kiba came into the classroom. Naruto didn't like Kiba, too much pride, too much showboating. It didn't help that Kiba occasionally got into fights with him. But they weren't really fights, more like beatings, and he always flicked Naruto on the neck as he walked to his place, constantly annoying him and sometimes yelling a few insults at him. He finally had enough with it and now he was going to show his boss. As Kiba walked up the steps, he put his hand out towards Naruto, ready to flick his neck. Suddenly Naruto's hand latched onto his arm. The quick movements and fast tightening made him yell, causing everybody to turn around to the pair of them. The image was kind of incredible to behold. Naruto, the class clown, had dug his fingers deep into another student's arms, making him bleed a thick stream of blood. Akamaru attacked Naruto, trying to bite his hand, but Naruto just punched the dog, causing him be smashed into the ground. Akamaru, exclaimed Kiba. Pathetic pup, snarled Naruto, shocking everyone, even Sasuke. What the hell is up with you? retorted the grunting Kiba. Instantly he froze as he watched the young Uzumaki heir begin to laugh ghostly, giving everyone the chills except Hinata, who was just concerned. "What's up with me?" he continued to laugh. "What's up is that after so many years, you never thought about why I wore that headband all those years." He paused and began to laugh again. "I did it to keep my curse a secret." He removed his headband to reveal his kanji mark. "I did it to hide my true identity. I am a demon and you can't understand the pain I hold within me, the feeling of being alone or the suffering I had to go through. You have no idea what it's like to be alone, to be orphaned," making Sasuke's eye widen. All this time, he was alone too, Sasuke thought to himself. Quickly Naruto punched Kiba in the face, causing him to be flung into the air and be smashed into the corner of the room. "Finally I can put this charade at the end." "What?" mumbled Kiba. "The whole time I was pretending to be an idiot. Pretending to be a class clown. I made you think I was a loser with genjutsu, so that I didn't have to reveal my secret of be constantly asked about. But seeing as I'll probably won't be seeing most of you until the Chunin exams, I couldn't care less if you knew my little secret." "Yeah, like you're really a demon," retorted Sasuke. Naruto was about reply when, "Shut up, Sasuke, it's not like Naruto chose to be a demon," yelled Hinata, making everyone look at her in disbelief. Even Naruto was in disbelief that the small, calm and timid Hyuga girl would yell at someone like Sasuke without any second thought. What's gotten into Hinata? Thought Naruto. However, before he could question the young heiress, Mizuki and Kakashi came in, seeing the blooded Kiba. "Okay, who did it?" Kakashi said, huffing. "Naruto," yelled the class. "Oh haha, very funny class. Now really, who did it?" asked Kakashi sarcastically. "No, seriously, Naruto did it," exclaimed Ino and Sakura, immediately sending a death glare at each other. Soon they could hear Naruto dark laughter. "I always thought you were pathetic, Kakashi-sensei. You couldn't even realize the genjutsu," exclaimed a grinning Naruto. "What are you talking about?" asked Kakashi. "I guess I better dispel it." He put his hands together. "Kai!" yelled Naruto. "Well, what you think, like the new me?" They looked at the boy, but now his voice was deeper and grimmer, sounding huskier and animalistic. His nails were pointed and the whiskers were thicker. "What?" they asked him, though Hinata didn't seem to be fazed by his voice change, just the visual. She couldn't hear anything different, it was always that husky to her. "Secrets, secrets, secrets, this is my true self. I had the high-pitched voice because of the genjutsu. Oh well," he said, sitting in his chair and putting his feet up on the table. "Please tell us, who am I going to work with / humiliating for the next 2-3 years?" "I guess we better get started," said Mizuki. Team 6. Choji, Shikamaru, Ino. Causing Choji and Shika to smile while Ino crying out for Sasuke. "Ha, Ino loser, I am gonna be Sasuke's group, I am sure of it. Though the cream bitch Sakura, PS. There's Sakura bashing." Team 7. "Please," thought Sakura. "Naruto Uzumaki. Please, again. Sasuke Uchiha. Please, for the love of Kami. Hinata Hyuga. No, why did that girl get put in that squad? I want to be with Sasuke, blah blah blah," she bitched to herself. "Yes, I am with Naruto-kun," completely oblivious to his recent changes, thought Hinata. "Really, the split so and the Hyuga, wow, that's gonna suck," thought the Uchiha. Soon after everyone left with their senseis, Sakura had been put in a team with Shino and Kiba. And yet, even though Kakashi was in the room and assigned as their sensei, they were waiting for him after he said he had to go to the loo. "How long is it going to take him to get here?" said Sasuke. "He's either taking the longest pile of shit ever or he's gone and fucked off to a different village," replied Naruto. "So what's happened to you?" questioned Sasuke said to Naruto. "HMPH, grunted Naruto. "I don't know what you're talking about, Sasuke. Naruto is the same as ever, his voice is the same and his soul is the same." "What do you mean his voice hasn't changed? It's always sounded like that since it broke." Naruto voice broke. Instantly Sasuke was punched across the wall. "Whoops, my fingers slipped," said Naruto sarcastically. "Okay, both of you calm down," yelled Kakashi. "HMPH, so finally here," said a smug Naruto. "What's has gotten into him?" thought Kakashi. Kakashi stood in front of the 3 genin at the training ground. He held up to bells, told them the rules and disappeared immediately. Quickly Sasuke hid away. "Hinata, asked Naruto, making the young Hyuga girl smile and worried at the same time. Yes, Naruto-kun. Have you figured it out yet? Yes, she replied, making him smile, causing her to blush. Then let's go put it into effect, said Naruto a bit demonically. Oh okay, she stumbled. After a while they found him reading a book by a large tree. Make out tactics? Guess he needs to get laid or something, thought Naruto judgingly. He turned to Hinata and grinned, showing his large canines while shocked at first, quickly smiled and nodded. 1, 2, 3, quickly the pair jumped out of the trees. Byakugan, Shadow Clone Jutsu. As the young Hyuga was preoccupied with fighting Kakashi, the Naruto clones attacked him. He jumped on Kakashi, while he created more which quickly jumped on top of Kakashi. Meanwhile the real Naruto grabbed their feet and began to pull, creating a lasso of clones, slamming Kakashi into the ground. Ow. Well, I guess you pass, but what about the Uchiha? Asked Kakashi. Damn it, my cover's been blown. He threw out 2 kunai in a panic, but Kakashi punched him out of the tree lightning fast. Well then I guess that's lunch. I will give you a second chance, but if you fail you will be sent back to the academy. Sasuke Uchiha, snarled Kakashi. After an intense fight, Sasuke finally realized what he had done wrong and began to work with Naruto to pass. Afterwards they were dismissed. The Uchiha vanished as well as Kakashi, but Naruto stayed to talk to the young Hyuga. Tell me about yourself, Hinata. He said he wouldn't be interested with the young Hyuga girl, but somehow she didn't seem to be fazed by genjutsus or be freaked about his whole Oni speech. Well where do I start Naruto-kun, she said, worried. Why don't you start with your clan? Instantly she looked to the ground, making Naruto detect a bit of her sorrow. I wonder those eyes, they are filled with loneliness, thought the young boy. It's okay Hinata, if you don't want to talk about it that's fine, said Naruto. Really? Stumbled Hinata. Yes. Naruto and Hinata talked to each other. Naruto noticed how she constantly stuttered and blushed around him while Hinata was enjoying talking to him. After an hour Naruto left and politely told Hinata that he had go do something. Naruto began to walk home. As he did he got the usual stares, but instead of just ignoring them he snorted back at them. When he got home the Uzumaki sat down on his couch and turned on his TV. When his head started to throb, causing him to get up in his feet, trying to get to the bathroom before his kanji turned a dark red. In a second the thumping pound of throbbing caused him to fall onto his knees, curled up. No father, I don't want any more yelled Naruto. The kanji began to grow more and more intense as the sun set. No, he yelled before his blue eyes turned red, his hair turned orange and his teeth grew sharp and pointed. The kanji on his head turned from black to red to orange, his nails became pointed. Hello there, father, he said to the large 9-tailed fox caged in the dark pit of despair. Hello there, son, he responded. 7 years earlier, it had been 1 day since Naruto had discovered the truth about why the villagers hated him. Naruto was sitting in his bedroom as he watched the sunset. That was the first time it happened. The darkness began to engulf the village, causing Naruto's head to throb, causing him to fall over. When he got up, the room he was different. The room, it was made of stone and a large cage was seen before him. Inside, a giant mass of red chakra formed into the orange-furred 9-tailed demon fox. The demonic entity began to laugh. So then, kid, you have arrived in my tomb. Has hatred encased your soul? He questioned. Yes, it has, my guardian demon, he said with a dark smile. What do you mean by Gaurdian demon? He responded. Kyuubi, you've always looked after me, even if it was for your own interest. I can't stand to hear and curse at you and not thank you for the many times you've saved my life. You may not want to admit it, but you're my guardian, you protect me and I protect you from those who wish to use you, said Naruto. But I killed your parents, don't you feel sad? Not really. You want to know why? Why? Because I still have a parent. He paused. You. What? He yelled between being honored, shocked, insulted, enraged and happy. A parent shows what is right and wrong in the world as well as defend them. That's what you've done. You showed me what good is. He paused. Non-existent. You showed me what evil is. Once again he paused. You and me. And while you made me lonely, I know that now you my second father. You've gifted me with amazing power and I can't help but admire your inhuman power. Please, I don't want to be alone anymore. Accept me as your adopted son. Needless to say, the Kyuubi was speechless, but quickly his dropped jaw became a demonic grin. HMPH, I can tell you're good kid. Well done, you have gained my trust. Now then take your reward. This orb of my chakra will manifest into your scar at nightfall. Your true self will awaken and your hatred will blossom in a dark and powerful uprising of strength," declared the Kyuubi. A red orb of his chakra leaked out of the cage doors and floated to the young boy. As it got closer, the young boy put his hand out to touch it. The orb exploded into a red liquid covering the body of the boy and turned into a burning sensation. As it disappeared, the kanji on his head glowed red before coming black, causing the young boy's blonde hair to turn orange like his adoptive father's fur. And his eyes become red. The whisker marks became deeper and the young boy's nails became pointed. Red bandages appeared from the ground covering the boy like a recently deceased Egyptian pharaoh, which turned black before ripping away. The new child was wearing a robe that was a red robe with the black kanji for Oni on the back and the Uzumaki clan symbol. "There you go, my child, take your newfound strength, and go. However, there will be concurrences from giving you my power. You may use this at will, but the more you use it, the less of my chakra you have access to the next day. The other is that during nightfall, you may activate this mode UNWILLFULLY and be forced to kill any you meet. However, this will only happen at night time during a full moon or a random SPAZM," he said. He faded away. Returning to the room, Naruto got up and went to the mirror to see the new version of him, causing him to grin evilly. His killer intent grew the moment he felt the red chakra crawl around his body. He noticed his new clothing and his new sword. It was a katana with back handle and red guard, while the blade was black. The young, now orange-haired child took out the sword and opened the door. The moment he saw a group of people, he took their lives without a care. The blood splattered on the floor. The crimson elixir splashed onto his clothes. Instantly, two thugs and a ninja attacked him swinging the sword. Naruto removed the legs of a thug and got the way as he felt the other thug tried to punch him, but Naruto sliced across his face, causing the flesh that connected the upper part of his face to his lower jaw, making the jaw fall open and the flesh flip out, revealing his uncontrollable flapping tongue. The ninja threw a kunai at him, but Naruto dodged it. He sent the Kyuubi's chakra to create two tentacles with the Kyuubi's face on them, grabbing the legs of the ninja, hanging him upside down and ripping him in half. Blood splattered everywhere. The evil Naruto went into his apartment before fainting. Fast forward to the present. "Hello there, son. What do you want from me tonight, father? You have just become a genin and I am proud of you, Naruto. So now I shall give you a gift, my tailed beast seal." "Tailed beast seal?" questioned Naruto. "It's a powerful gift I give to it. Allows you to have access to large amount of your and my chakra increased. The seal works similar to Orochimaru's cursed seal of heaven. When activated, your body will be turned into a more powerful state. This power won't be available once I give it to you. It will take several months for the power to be absorbed into your being, my child," said the Nine Tails. A large orb of red chakra appeared behind Naruto. It took the form of a tall male man with long hair. It still was liquid, so details like skin or hair color could be seen. It opened its mouth and bit down on Naruto's neck. Chakra seeped into his body and the kanji for Oni Shinzoku appeared on his back. With two tomoe appearing underneath and above the kanji, a circle appeared around the kanji and had 6 kanji written around. They were Gakido, Wrath; Yugo, Fusing; Hakai, Destruction; Cage, Shadow; and Asura, Mighty. "My son, when I adopted you, I was making a mistake. When I saw your loneliness, I hated seeing that. Because of what I forced to do caused the death of your parents. Now, my son, I will show what really happened on that night. The night you were born." He put his hand. There was a bright flash, and then 13 years earlier. "Yah!" screamed Kushina, as she gave birth to a blonde child. "Be careful, do you want to release the Kyuubi?" yelled one of the two sealers. "Yes, we do," replied Jiraiya. "What?" she gasped as the Sannin stabbed her. "Ferris!" screamed the other sealer before the 4th Hokage killed her too. "Minato, what are you doing?" screamed Kushina. "What I am doing is taking the Kyuubi's power for my own." "What you can't do, THAAT. She yelled that as her baby was born. "You'll kill me." "Hopefully," he responded, shocking her. "What?" She let out a grunt as the Nine Tails chakra began to grow out of her stomach. At first the chakra formed as a large blob of chakra rising into the air like a lava lamp. Quickly its head appeared, followed by his feet and arms. The creature roared as it smashed the 4th Hokage out a nearby window. Jiraiya tried to attack the Nine Tails, but it just slammed into him with his arm. The demon grew its tails before becoming completely fleshed out in color. The demon was standing on top of her as if he was guarding her. The demon turned to the young baby and removed his umbilical cord. He put a bit of his chakra in the baby to heal him and passed him to the woman. "Oh Naruto-kun, you so cute," she said, holding the child to her face. However, it was short-lived as more ninjas appeared. "Kushina, get out of here," he said as he blasted the ninja with small orbs of red chakra. She got out of the bed and ran towards the exit. Following her was the Kyuubi. He turned and blasted out a couple of the support beams as they ran into a tunnel inside the forest. After getting the collapsing tunnel was catching up to Kushina, but the fox picked up the woman and ran incredibly fast, outrunning the tunnel in seconds. Once outside they stopped. They had to sit down as Kushina had to get her mind on track and heal herself. The Kyuubi helped as well. "Kyuubi? Yes? Why did you help me?" "Simple, I didn't want to be controlled by some like him. That, and out of the two hosts I've had, yours was the most comfortable, so I couldn't let that slip away." He chuckled. "Also, I could understand your concern for your child. At one point I had a loved one and we wanted a son, but when we were ready to make a familiar, the Uchiha came along, and after their fight I was imprisoned in Mito. I would love to go back, but she is surely diseased by now," he said, upset. "I see. I wish that I will be able to survive this day and raise my child, but I feel that isn't going to happen," she said, upset. "Shut up. Don't ever say something like that. Your child needs you. Don't let him down. Make sure you survive. Make sure that you can raise him, and if you can't and I get sealed within him, I swear I will instead," he said. "You know you not what expected. I thought you were going to be all teeth and growling. I am sorry, I didn't think you were sentient. None taken, at least you admitted to it. Mito never said so, but she did at first, probably because the Uchiha used me like one," said Kyuubi. "I don't whether it's good thing or a bad thing that he has his father's hair," she said. "HMPH, I guess you don't care what I just said," he said, pouting. "So what are going to call him?" She paused for a moment. "Kuramaru," instantly shocking the Nine Tails. "Really, are you really naming him after me?" She nodded. "Well, I am honored. Thank you, Kushina, but I ask of you, does this make me his godfather?" She nodded. Suddenly the Gamabunta appeared within the forest with Minato standing on his head. "Run, Kushina!" exclaimed the Kyuubi, causing her to turn around with Naruto in hand and run as fast she could for a wounded ninja. The Kyuubi began to enlarge itself to fight Gamabunta, while Kushina ran for her life but was stopped by two ninjas, Makoto and Kakashi, who grabbed the child and began to beat her, enraging the Nine Tails, making him fire a almost fatal blow to Gamabunta, but Gamabunta preformed water bullet, preventing it from hitting him. As it blew up, the shock of the explosions caused the pair get out of the way while the Nine Tails just stood where he was. Gamabunta fired several more water bullets in succession which hit their target, followed by a water bullet barrage which fired 100 water bullets all at the same time, causing the Kyuubi to be thrown into the forest. Minato jumped into the forest, grabbed Kurama and began the sealing process. He split the two chakras into yin and yang and began to flow the first one into Kurama and was about to absorb the other chain when Kushina grabbed the chakra chain and flowed it into her. Seeing this, the Kyuubi let go of his withdrawal and he let her absorb the chakra in a flash. "Is that it, father?" "Yes, the next thing I remember was being awoken when we first meet. So then are you angry?" "No, because that man wasn't my father. You are, and I want to find my mother." "Are still going to work for Konoha?" "Yes, because as long as I am here they will have to suffer with their mistakes," he responded evilly, making the Kyuubi smile. "So then what do you wish to be called?" "Well, thought you were called Naruto. My memories were blurred. Even now I am still finding new memories." "Or Kuramaru?" "Kuramaru, because that is what my mother named me, after a homage to my adoptive father," he responded, smiling. For one, the legitimate times he really did. "I guess I better shorten it to Kurama," causing Kurama to nod. "Anyway, I've noticed a thing, your conversation with the Hyuga named Hinata." "Yes, what is it?" "Well, I can see people's souls." "Wait, what? Can you do that?" "Yes." "Cool. Anyway, the way I describe souls are round blue sphere, usually with white core. However, you have a red soul with a white core progressively being encased in a black ink-like substance as my evil takes effect in your body. However, the Hyuga girl has a white core and a small spot of black ink, showing that there is hatred in her heart." "Yeah, so? Take advantage of it. The girl obviously has a crush on you, not to mention she has hatred in her heart, and the fact that there is almost no one in Konoha you can trust. She will become a great ally," said the demon, making Kurama grin. It was a wonderful day in Konoha. The sun was shining and Kuramaru Uzumaki, formerly known as Naruto Uzumaki, was walking to the bridge where he and his team members Sasuke and Hinata meet to do missions with Kakashi. Poof! Hey there, said Kakashi. Kurama looked at the white-haired child stealer with killer intent, making his skin crawl. Ever since he found out that Kakashi was responsible for his mother's death, he was enraged at the sight of him. He tried his best to keep calm, but I couldn't help but get pissed when seeing him trying to be causal to them as if he understood him. What do you want, Baka? Snarled Kurama, shocking Sasuke and Hinata. Naruto, there's no reason for language like that. Fuck off, said Kurama without caring. Well, I doubt I am going to do that, as I've got a new mission for you, making Naruto raise an eyebrow. We need to locate a cat for a woman. Obviously this is a D rank, he continued, making Sasuke and Naruto groan. Kakashi and Sasuke disappeared in a puff of smoke, while that left Kurama and Hinata together. Remembering what Kyuubi told him last night, he decided to talk to the young Hyuga. So Hinata-chan, are you getting sick of these D ranks? Kurama said. Just a bit, she stuttered. I think they're below my skill. I wish we could at least have a C rank, don't you think? I mean, it's a insult that a team consisting of 3 of the most powerful genin from the rookies are just given D ranks. Yeah, I guess so. So tell me, what is your clan like? Oh well, the thing is, Kurama instantly noticed her sadness and hatred at the mention of her clan. What's the matter? Oh, nothing, Naruto-kun. Kuramaru, please. Why? Causing Kurama to worry. Tell her that the Hokage found some old documents about his real name because they didn't know your real name, and they only knew you were a Uzumaki because they found the corpse of your mother with you, that or you could come clean, said the Kyuubi. Kurama decided not to take either of them. Just because I found out something important, I just feel more comfortable when people use that name instead of Naruto. Oh okay, Kuramaru-kun. Making her giggle, which caused Kurama to look at her surprised. What's the matter, oh Kuramaru-kun? I've just never heard you laugh before. It's beautiful, making Hinata go deep red and fainted. Naruto, Kuramaru-kun, she muttered as she fainted. Hinata, yelled Kurama as he cashed her. Boy, father was right, she does have a crush, he thought. After 2 minutes she began to wake up. Naruto-kun, she murmured. Kurama, he corrected. Sorry Kurama-kun, she said, waking up more and more, bit by bit. He sat down on the grass next to her, on the tea he laid her on. So where were we? He paused. Oh yes, we discussing you clan? Again her head shot down again. Hinata, is there something about your clan that upsets you? He asked, a bit concerned. It's just that. It's just what? The clan hates me. I can't stand it, they give me cold stares and I just hate it. Everyone is supposed to look at me and say stuff like she's like her father or mother, but they don't. It hurts Kurama, it hurts deep. When your little sister is able to beat you when you spar, when your cousin hates your guts, and when your father looks at like he made mistake, I can't help but get more and more upset. And then I see you, she paused. And then I see you with the same stares pointed at you. And you just look back and stick your tongue out or play a prank, while I just look at the floor. Again she paused, realizing what she had just said. She turned to Kurama, who was bright red with his mouth open. Kuramaru-kun, then he fainted. She giggled a bit at the role reversal. After 15 minutes he woke up. Kit, you've done well. Her soul is breaking down during her conversation, causing him to smile. So why are you frowned upon by your own clan? He suddenly said to Hinata, who still though he was asleep, making her jump. What? She jolted. Oh it's because I wish I didn't have to say this, but, she paused, it's because I am weak. I want to be strong like my father and kind like my mother, but I can't be strong. Everybody in my clan knows it. My sister can spar better than me, and Neji always tells me how I am weak and pathetic. I hate it. I don't know why I don't just yell at them. I am always too timid to stand up myself. I am weak. I am just weak. She started to cry. Kuramaru was surprised, pinched himself twice but sat a bit closer to Hinata. You're not weak, Hinata-chan, trust me. You have gentle fist, Byakugan, and you're training with your father. You just can't take that many hits. You're not like me. I can take tons of hits, but it's not because I am strong. It's genetic from my clan. Like your Byakugan, if you work on taking more hits, then I think you will unstoppable, he said, smiling at her, causing her to blush. Meanwhile the Kyuubi smiled as more and more evil began to latch around her soul. Good work, Kit. You've established her hatred. Let it grow on its own. It poke at it every once in a while, to nudge closer to the dark, said Kyuubi smiled. Oh well, I better be going, said Kurama. No, spoke Hinata as she pulled herself to the blonde's arm, almost yelling. "What's the matter, Hinata?" said Kurama, grinning. "I just don't want you to go, that all?" said Hinata, almost completely red. "Well, I guess you could come to the ramen shop with me," making the young Hyuga blush. "Oh really?" she said, blushing. "Sure, I guess," said Kurama. "At the ramen store, Kurama?" asked Hinata. "You?" he asked, his mouth half full with noodles. "What I said about me clan. I know this a bit weird, but do you think it's the same as being alone? With nobody believing in you or trusting you, it almost like nobody's there at all," she asked, almost crying. "You're not all alone, you have somebody that cares for very much. What's his or her name?" He put her hand on her shoulder, making her look at him with his big grin. "Kurama Uzumaki," he declared, making her blush to a tomato red. "It's growing," said the Kyuubi. "Hinata, I have to explain something to you in private, please," asked Kurama. "Oh sure. I am finished anyway." Kurama looked at the empty bowl and smiled. "Come on then," he smiled as they left, but it had a sinister tone in it. Kurama's house. Hinata walked into the apartment. The young blonde opened the door for him and closed it. Hinata turned around to Naruto, concerned about what he was going to do to her. But he just stood there. He closed his eyes. Suddenly Aztec patterns appeared on his body. They were black. They emanated from his shoulder and his kanji mark. When they surrounded his body, his skin became a bit darker, his hair orange, and it grew longer. His teeth and nail grew pointed, and his eyes became red, with the white part becoming black. He smiled at her a bit menacingly. "Whoa!" she yelped as she fell. "What's happened to you, Naruto? I thought I should show you instead of explaining. See, I have to tell you something. You know how I am a orphan," causing her to nod. "Well, it turns out my real father is the Yoden and was responsible for the attack on Konoha 13 years ago. When I born, the 4th Hokage used it to his advantage and released the 9 tails that was sealed in my mother, endangering her life and supposedly killing her," making Hinata look puzzled. "Yeah, I'll get to that. Anyway, he wanted the Kyuubi's chakra and separated one half of it into yin and the other to yang. However, he was unable to absorb the other chakra and had already sealed the other inside me. After 6 years of being hated, I communicated with the Kyuubi, who adopted and protected me. He gave me a seal which he named the Oni seal, which granted me this power." "Okay, so what about your mom?" she said, shaken a bit but still surprisingly well composed. "That's the thing, me or the Kyuubi have no idea what happened after I absorbed his chakra, but she probably died from absorbing it." So what's this about the Kyuubi being your adoptive father?" "Well, he had protected me previously, and I admired that. After that he gave me my Oni seal." "Oni seal?" she questioned. "It's a seal I placed on Kurama when I adopted him. It was made out of my demonic DNA and that of some of my trusted friends. It is separated into 9 paths. Each had an affinity. They were assigned Gakido, which gave him a set of exclusive black fire jutsu. Yugo, which allowed him to fuse with me. Hakai, that allowed him to gain access to several destructive taijutsu and ninjutsu. Kage, allowing him to create special shadow clones with elemental attributes and other shadow-based attacks, and Asura, which enabled him to create mechanical arms. Boomed a low segmented voice from nowhere. "Who was that?" asked Hinata, frightened. "No need to worry, that was my dad. I put some of the chakra into the walls so that he could talk to me outside of my head, cause it would hurt if we tried to have a conversation," replied Kurama. "However, my seal has 2 drawbacks. Sometimes my father's demonic chakra would overpower my better judgment and make me a psychopath. The other drawback is that while in my demon form, the form I am in right now," he moved his hands down his body to demonstrate his transformation, "my state would cause my personality to transform. I don't use this form often, but it doesn't matter because I am, well, a demon." "You're a what?" she exclaimed. "A demon?" he said sadly. "Let me guess, now you're gonna be like, holy shit, kill him now." "No, no, no," she exclaimed. "If anything," he head fell to the flower. "What is it? It kinda turns me on," making Kurama go red, "even though you couldn't that well in his Oni form." "Ba wah huh," exclaimed the Uzumaki heir. "You look so cute when you're confused," she chuckled. "Hinata, are you feeling okay?" "Yeah, why? I've just never seen you laugh so much." "I am a bit worried too." "I haven't either. Don't get me wrong, your laugh is beautiful." Full," she whispered as she fainted. Moments later, Hinata, 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 was the only thing she could hear. "Hinata," Kurama abruptly gasped. "Huh," she moaned as she woke up. "Hey there, Hinata, what happened? You fainted again." "Did I am sorry, Kurama-maru-kun. It's okay, you fainted, that not your fault." "Really? which he responded to with a nod. Hey, I want to show you something, come with me. Okay, Hinata said, following Kurama. Kakashi's training ground. Here we are, he said to the Hyuga as they walked to the 3 kunai target poles. This is my favorite spot in the whole village. I thought it was on top of the Hokage monument. That's second place. This is where I train with my abilities such as by Hiro Tama, Kage Tama, Oni Tama and Smoke Kunai. He turned to Hinata, who was puzzled. She had never had heard of such jutsu. What kind of jutsus are they? I've never heard of them. I am not surprised cause I made them. He chuckled a bit. Here I'll show one of my favorites, the Hiro Tama. He walked over to the middle of the training ground and placed his right arm out in front. He closed his eyes and he activated his Oni cursed mark, turning him into his demon form. He hovered his left hand out in front of him and started spinning it clockwise, summoning red chakra into his palm into the size of a red sphere of chakra. It span fast. Kurama put his hand out. Oni. He yelled as a massive blast shot out from his hand. The blast turned the red orb into a blast of electrical energy which had a black base with red emanating from it. The blast shot through a total of 78 trees before it stopped and created a mushroom cloud, destroying 16 more trees, and small blasts of energy rained from the cloud. Needless to say, Hinata was scared shitless. Naruto-kun, how did you learn that? I made it, he smiled, and I might just teach you that someday so you can take down Neji. Making Hinata gasp and smiled at the same time. Really, Naruto-kun? Yes, pinky promise, she said a bit seductively, which was uncharacteristic of her. Oh, Hina-chan, was that a bit of sarcasm I hear? He smiled devilishly. Well then, are you going to pinky promise or not? I pinky promise, said Kurama, laughing. Both of them chuckled and they stopped, beginning to stare at each other, coming a bit by bit more closer before their lips met. Wow, that was said Kuramamaru, confused on what to say after they broke their lips. Don't worry, Kuramamaru-kun. Everything will be all right, Hinata said, embracing Kurama in a hug. I won't let anyone hurt you, please. Kuramamaru, give the strength to protect the ones I love and the ones I hate. Who are the ones you hate? Nek NVNHYUKNCDC and Farthkotijh, she muttered. Pardon? Neji Hyuga and farther, she yelled. It's okay, he hugged her. I won't let anyone hurt my Hina-chan. As he nuzzled her neck, she smiled but still cried into his shoulder. Kurama, it hurts and I won't stop bleeding. The wound in my heart won't stop bleeding, please Kuramamaru. It hurts, it won't stop bleeding, can you heal it? She continued. I hate this village. Everyone in my clan thinks I am weak, like my little sister's better than me and my cousin. Who am I kidding? I am weak. They're better than me. Continuing to cry into his shoulder. Well done, kid, you've got her hook, line and sinker. It's completely black. The Kyuubi laughed. Suddenly Sasuke appears in poof of smoke, giving them a shocked look when he realized she was crying, but quickly fell back into his cool dude, emo persona. Both of them look at him coldly, giving him a shiver. Kakashi wants to meet up at the Hokage's office, then he disappeared. I guess we better get going. Can we stop by my house? I need some new clothes, she said, wiping away her tears. Actually, my clothes need a replacement, so we'll meet up at the gate to the Hokage's office. She nodded to confirm her understanding. Kakashi watches as Sasuke approaches him. Well, they're getting comfy, said Sasuke as he sat down. What do you mean? Questioned Kakashi. When I came to talk to them they were hugging, making Kakashi to raise an eyebrow. Has that foul demon spawn corrupted her mind? What a foul and evil monster to corrupt her mind and better judgment, he thought. Minato-sensei. Iruka, I will kill this child. He is the reason you are dead, he continued in his head. Out from the distance came Hinata. She was wearing a lavender hoodie which was open and a mesh vest and hot pants with a belt, and several kunai pouches were attached to it. He has corrupted her. The Hinata I knew would never have worn something like that, he thought. After she approached them, she sat on a bench just outside the door to the Hokage's office on the left. Soon after, Kuramamaru appeared wearing an open red and black jacket like the orange one. He had a black shirt on with the kanji for Oni on it and wore military green trousers like his old one. Something they all noticed was his eyes were bright red. Hina-chan, shouted Kurama as he rushed to talk to her. Kuramamaru-kun, Hinata said as he sat down next to her. Kuramamaru? Asked Sasuke. I am not going to let this get complicated, so I am just gonna say that's my new name. Suddenly a Chunin appeared in poof of smoke. You can go in now. causing them to enter the Hokage's office. The old man explained that they had a new D rank, but then, I don't mean to complain, but my team's gone through 40 missions so far. I want something challenging, or at least something out of the village, complained Hinata, making Kurama smile and the Hokage raise an eyebrow. Come to think of it, her outfit and Naruto's change of clothes both appeared at the same time, plus she's been spending a lot of time with him, maybe, just maybe, making the Hokage smile. Finally he can be accepted by another person of his age, he thought. Will you show the Hokage some respect, Hinata? Demanded Mizuki. Instantly he shut up after Kuramaru gave him a death glare. Well, I do have this C rank. It's a mission out of the village. It's getting a bodyguard mission for a bridge builder who worried about petty criminals and crocs, that's all. Okay, well, take it, said Kuramaru, right, Kakashi, who looked at him hatefully. Little demon brat, he thought. Okay, but we have one problem. What's that? Well, see, in Team 8 last mission Shino and Kiba got wounded. Of course, usually the other members of the team would have to wait for their teammates, however, seeing as this is C rank and you are doing this earlier than usual, so we are attaching Sakura Haruno temporarily to your team as support. Great, we have a fangirl with us, all four of them thought, including Hinata and Kakashi. Bring her in, said the Hokage, causing Sasuke to groan. Sasuke, she immediately gasped, making Hinata and Kuramaru groan and roll their eyes. Even Kakashi was pissed. Shut up, Sakura, it's obvious he doesn't care, so shut up and watch my and my other teammates' backs, because if slip up and concentrate on him more than the bridge builder and he ends up dead, then I'll gut you myself. The statement was made with no hesitation or mercy that made her stop in her tracks. She turned to him with anger in her eyes and also maybe a bit of sadness. You take that back, you bastard. Shut up, you slut, he retorted. Everyone, including Hinata, gasped. Everyone was aware of Kuramaru's constant advances when they were children, but now everyone watched the same person call her a slut. Okay, you two cut it out, declared Kakashi. We'll meet up tomorrow by the bridge. I'll arrive with the bridge builder and we'll get going. The next day they met up at the bridge and so began their adventure to the land of waves. They began to travel across many roads. Kurama and Hinata stayed together behind the bridge builder while Sasuke and Kakashi stayed at front point while Sakura was walking with Tazuna. Hey Hina-chan, do you see the puddles? Smirked Kuramaru. Indeed I do, she smiled. Let's go. Kuramaru used a substation jutsu on a piece of wood in his bag and preformed the jutsu while Hinata performed the same jutsu, this time with a book. The subs continue to walk without anyone noticing. As they get near the puddles, the demon brothers attack, supposedly killing Kurama and Hinata. Naruto, Sakura screamed. Hinata, yelled Kakashi. Suddenly 2 kunai were logged into one of the brothers' eyes. What? Exclaimed Kakashi. Suddenly Kurama appeared in front of the other brother. Hiro Tama, yelled Kurama as he blasted the brother with the 2 kunai in his eyes. Meanwhile Hinata jumped to the other brother, who was distracted by his brother's death, to notice her attacking him with a kunai, cutting his stomach open. His guts slithered out of his body like worms and blood covered her kunai. Hinata licked the blood of the kunai while Kurama watched with joy. Everyone just looked at them, jaws open and everything. Sasuke was wide-eyed. Sakura was terrified. Kakashi was angry and Tazuna was absolutely horrified. That power, what is that power? I must have it if I want to defeat Itachi, thought Sasuke. Naruto, what's happened to you? You're merciless, and Hinata, you just killed a person, you seem unfazed. What's happening to you too? Sakura thought. That demon brat, I'll kill him. He's too strong. That power is not in the right hands. I will kill him the next time I get a chance, he thought. So is that what being a ninja is like? Just killing without a care and becoming an animal? What kind of sick fucks would do that to children? Spoke Tazuna, who wasn't afraid to speak his mind. Well, to be honest, I was killing younger than this on instinct, so you should know it doesn't faze me, said Naruto, spinning a kunai in his right hand with one finger. That's nothing to be proud, Naruto. First of all, did I say if I was proud of it? No. Second, am I proud of it? Yes. Third, it's Kuramaru, dipshit, said Kuramaru. Naruto, seriously, what's gotten into you? I am worried, said Sakura. Naruto looked at her with an icy stare. Why start now? He said, smug. Turning around, Sakura got angry and was about to hit him, but as she raised her hand, Hinata stopped her, putting a kunai to her neck. Don't you dare lay one finger on him or I'll kill you, she said, activating her Byakugan. What? She responded. You two calm down, instructed Kakashi. Very well, She removed the kunai and deactivated her Byakugan. She then ran after Kuramaru and they began to continue. She could remember the first time she felt stronger in year was only a couple of weeks ago when she beat her little sister, Hanabi, in a sparring match ever since she lost to Hanabi months ago. Since she graduated, she talked to her older sister like dirt. What made her angrier is that her dad let her like he agreed. Hanabi would away make fun of her limited abilities, but Hanabi on that day had defiantly crossed the line. 4 weeks ago, Hinata was on the left, Hanabi right. You know sis, I am gonna beat you, I always do. You're probably going to cry to your boyfriend, aren't you, afterwards? Both Hinata's and Hiyashi's eyes narrowed. What is she talking about? Hinata doesn't have a boyfriend, thought Hiyashi. If she doesn't stop disrespecting Kuramaru-kun, I'll do something I'll regret. Wait, did I just think that, she thought. Seriously Hinata, why do you like him? He's a freak, you know that he's killed tons of people. Suddenly Hiyashi realized who she was talking about. You can't be serious, my daughter is in love with the Kyuubi brat, he thought bitterly. You take that back, Hinata yelled. Next thing Hiyashi could hear was a yell of pain when he looked up from the ground. Hanabi was in the corner of the dojo whimpering while Hinata stood over her smiling evilly. Hi, yelled Hiyashi, stopping them. Both of them turned around. Okay, that's enough, you are dismissed. Hinata walked out and shut the dojo slide door fast and walked off. As she left, she smiled as she left to meet Kuramaru. So she's seeing the Uzumaki. I can't tell if it's a bad thing or not. She seems to be progressing with him still. Her personality is changing. Or is she just showing her true colors, he thought. So then Tazuna, why did they come to attack you? Me, why did you think they attacked me? Because if you think about why would they want to fight 4 genin and a jonin without a motive? If it was 3 and a jonin they might have got us, still they would have not attacked unless they had motive. This mission is out of our hands now, we must go back. When you applied you said you wanted protection from bandits and criminals, but these were B-rank criminals. Really? Pretty pathetic if you ask me, said Kuramaru as he kicked the head of the dead ninja. Well, you see, the Land of Waves is a poor country. A tycoon named Gato. He started soon after. He continued his explanation about the poverty, the importance of the bridge and his daughter and grandson. After that he begged them to help while Kakashi was uninterested. Sakura asked to while Sasuke asked. He wanted to get some experience, not wanting to put his star pupil in the dark. He accepted to help the bridge builder. Hiku, I believe. Where next? Said a man with an obstructed face and large sword. Yes, Lord Zabuza, said a young apprentice with a hunter nin mask. Get it done. If you screw up, e.g. wounded, I'll take it out of your paycheck, said the fat dwarf. Kuramaru continued to talk with Hinata. Sasuke was being nagged and adored by Sakura while Kakashi and Tazuna were continuing to walk together when the mist rose. What the, said Kakashi. Playtime? Questioned Hinata. Playtime, said Kuramaru with devilish grin. A menacing laugh could be heard from out of no actual known or seen location. Kakashi of the Sharingan Eye, what a pleasure, it's going to be fun snuffing you out of our bingo books, said Zabuza, who appeared out the trees to attack them. Kakashi dodged the almost fatal blow from above. The mist swordsman looked at Tazuna as he lifted his sword, but Sasuke tackled him out of the way before Zabuza could cleave him in half. Get out the way, old man, Sasuke yelled as he pushed him out the way. Take this. Suddenly Kuramaru appeared from above with a strange purple and black sphere of energy in his hands. Kage Tama, Shadow Sphere 5000 kunai. He declared as the orb was launched into the man's gut. Suddenly he felt 5000 kunais slam into his body, knocking him back. You bastard, grunted Zabuza. What power? How could such a pathetic pile of shit like Naruto or Kurama or whatever his fucking name is, preform a jutsu like that? No, I am a Uchiha. I will kill this man to activate my Sharingan, thought Sasuke. You forget about me, he said. I didn't forget about you, I just didn't care. Take this, he yelled as he throwed a large shuriken, but Zabuza cashed it and throwed it back faster, cutting Sasuke's arm and moving towards Sakura, but she dodged it thanks to Hinata pushing her, but the shuriken hit her in the leg, wounding her. No, Hinata, Kurama yelled. He watched as the Hyuga girl get wounded. Ran to her, but Zabuza attacked him by rugby tackling him. Kurama kicked Zabuza up and got on top of him and grabbed a kunai and stabbed him in the eye. Ah, fuck, he yelled as he turned on his back. The Uzumaki ran to Hinata while a hunter nin appeared and knocked him out. Who are you? Asked Kakashi. My name is Hiku, I am a hunter nin from the village hidden in the waves. I have been assigned to find and kill Zabuza Momochi. Seeing as you have done so, I will take his body back to my village. Thank you and goodbye," said the gender-questioned masked ninja as she disappeared. "Damn it, we need to get to them," Kakashi said. "Why?" asked Sakura and Sasuke. "Because that hunter nin should have killed Zabuza immediately, but she didn't. They're obviously together," said Kuramaru. "Shut up, Naruto, it's not like you know what you're talking about," said. "Actually he's right," said Kakashi. "Now let's go after them." He then moaned in pain as he started to move. His body throbbed as he realized he was bleeding. "Quick, grab him. My place isn't too far from here. My daughter will be able to care for him," said Tazuna, causing Sakura and Sasuke to pick him up. The both looked at Naruto, who was healed. "Hinata, when did you learn that?" asked Sakura. "Just from a scroll. I needed to get my chakra control down to a T, so I decided to learn how to heal. Anyway, let's go," he said before jumping off. Sakura and Sasuke couldn't help but notice his growing changes in skill and personality. "Let's go, Sakura." "Sure," she said, chewing on her hair as they walked forward with Kakashi in hand. "You're supposed to be demon, right? How pathetic," said the fat midget. "Do not talk to Zabuza like that or I'll kill you," she said. "Haku, don't, we need the money," said the wounded Zabuza. "Zabuza," said Haku. "Don't worry, Haku got a good slice at him. If he's not dead he'll be out of commission for a while. That gives us time to replenish our strength." Meanwhile at Tazuna's house. They had just arrived. There was Tazuna's daughter and grandson. They passed Hinata and Kakashi to Tazuna's daughter and she started to heal Kakashi while Kuramaru healed Hinata. He was worried at first. He didn't know whether healing her with the Kyuubi's chakra might be dangerous, but he did so because it healed her faster. A day later Hinata was mostly healed. She regained her ability to walk, talk and pick things up, but she wasn't ready to fight anybody. Kurama made sure she was okay every half an hour and was very worried about her, something that Sakura had picked up on. Kakashi told them to train by walking up trees, but to everybody's surprise Naruto and Hinata knew how to do so. This burnt up the Uchiha and Sakura didn't like it when Sasuke was showed. She understood that the Hyuga would have known, but she didn't like hearing Kurama's constant insults about Sasuke's lack of skill. Everybody tried to befriend the young boy Inari, but to no success. He would often just look at them, say something about heroes not existing and run off to cry in his bedroom. Kurama would often grit his teeth and tried to smack him, but one day before Kakashi was active. "Hey there, Sasuke," said Tazuna's daughter. You've been fighting a small baby bear," said Kurama. "Shut up, loser." "Oh, why so techie, Uchiha?" said Kurama, smiling to show it was a joke. "Shut up, dude, calm down, it was only a joke," said Kurama. "Both of you are going to die. Why do try to believe you're going to stand a chance against Gato? He'll find you and cut you open and skin you like deer," said the ghostly distant Inari, causing both of them look at him, even Sakura and Hinata, who had just entered. "And how would you know that?" yelled Kurama. "Shut up, you're not an orphan," barked Inari. "You never felt loss," he continued. "How would you know whether I felt loss before? It's not like you had somebody come up to you, tell you they were your family and then try and murder you, making everybody shit themselves with fear. It not like you had somebody you considered a brother, a father, try and kill you, nor have you been hated by everybody in your village." Everybody looked at Kurama, horrified at what he was saying. "We'll have you, huh? Answer me," yelled, now more animalistic than a rabid dog. "I've suffered more than anybody here." Sakura was about to interrupt on Sasuke's behalf. "You have no idea how much pain I've gone through because of my father's sin. He caused me so much pain, all because he wanted more power for himself. All I want to do is kill him, but the fact is he's probably already dead," he yelled, almost screaming. Hell, it was hard to if he was screaming or breaking his lungs. He then got up and smashed open the front door, but it didn't break, and walked out before disappearing. "Kurama-kun," she gasped as she went over to follow him. "Wait, Hinata?" asked Sakura. "Yes, why would you want to help him? He's a psycho, he just made that all up," asked Sakura. Because I love him and he didn't make that up, it's the truth," she said before smashing her fist into Sakura's face and running after Kurama, which made everybody surprised. Meanwhile Inari just sat there crying like an infant. "Kurama, where are you?" she thought as she cased after the Uzumaki heir. "Hinata," she heard a male voice call out. She turned around and there was Kakashi. "What's happened?" Basically Inari went and starting running his mouth about being an orphan, which pissed of Kuramaru. He went berserk at Inari and spilled out some very disturbing news. Like what? Snapped Kakashi, thinking it was about the demon. Well, he said he was told by someone that she was his mother, but they must have been some sort of ploy to get Kurama alone so they could hurt him, she said, almost tearing up. Hummed Kakashi. Even Kakashi thought that was harsh, even to the Kyuubi kid. Damn it. Smack. Damn it. Smack. Dom it. Smash. Ka plonk was all Kurama heard as he punched through the tree, making it fall down. Well, you're not in a good mood, came a female voice from behind him. He turned around to see a brown-haired woman with a basket. Oh, hey, who are you? He said, a bit confused. My name is, she paused, Cho. I came from the village hidden in the waves. Oh really? I am looking for a man named Zabuza Momochi. He's a criminal that must be stopped because I am a ninja of the hidden leaf. Oh okay, she said, looking upset. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, I am. Say, you look familiar. Are you friends with a member of the Hyuga clan? Yes. Why, and how do you know that she's Hyuga? Well, I might have seen you with her in the town center. And what about the fact she is a Hyuga? Well, the Hyuga is a bit obvious. Still, I have to say, with eyes like that, I am surprised she hasn't been killed yet. What? Exclaimed Kurama. Back in my home country, everybody was afraid with those who had Kekkei Genkei. When I was a child, there was a great purge which killed 90% of those who had Kekkei Genkei. When I was young, I discovered my gift. My mother told me never to use it, but unknown to us, my father watched it from a nearby hill. Enraged, he killed my mother and almost killed me until, she paused, I ended my own father's existence. She paused. Soon after, I was alone and afraid until someone special entered my life and gave me a purpose. That's so sad, he said, almost crying. Haku. He suddenly turned stern, making her gasp. She reached for a kunai. Relax, I'll wait for my chance to defeat when you're fully armed. Beside, it wouldn't be fun otherwise. He paused. Besides, I understand how you feel. Wait, you have a Kekkei Genkei? No, not really, but I understand what it's like to have people want to kill you for something that's not your fault. He paused. What I am about to tell you is top secret. Do not tell anyone. She nodded. The nine-tailed fox, also known as the Kyuubi, is locked inside of me. She looked at him stunned but soon got back together. I see. I am guessing you've been hated because of it. Yeah, and you haven't heard the worst of it. Like what? Instantly a pain expression came to Kurama's. One time when I was 3, a woman came up to me and said she was my mother. I went with her to a house and with her were a man and 2 children. The next thing I know is I have been whacked in the stomach. Suddenly I am the floor coughing up blood. I ask the kids for help, but they start smiling and start punching me too. Then the woman gets a knife and starts stabbing me in the back. After a minute I pass out and they left me for dead. Then, he paused. I felt something over my body. The next thing I knew, the boy, the girl, the man and woman were dead. Limbs, organs and even skeletons were missing from their bodies, and it was at my hand. Haku just stood there horrified, not at Kurama but at the people behavior. She wanted to throw up. All she could think of is hugging the boy, so she did. Then she vanished, leaving Kurama alone looking at the floor. Unknown to them, Hinata and Kakashi watched him until he disappeared. Unknown to any of them, 2 pairs of snake eyes were looking at them, to one of which was crying. Suddenly all of them disappeared. The next day, Kakashi had recovered and they were escorting Tazuna back to the bridge. Once there, almost immediately the fog began to raise. Kurama was left at the house because he was practicing on creating a new jutsu the previous day and was out cold. Huh, said Sakura. HMPH, sniggered Sasuke. Come out, Zabuza, yelled Kakashi. I wish Kurama-kun was here, thought Hinata. A dark laughter could be heard. Oh Kakashi, how fun, I can't wait to spill your blood on my sword, he laughed. Didn't you already do that? Asked Kakashi. No, that was Haku. How do you think you didn't notice? She paralyzed your pain so you would move around more and bleed faster, he chuckled. Bastard, he paused. Sasuke, stay with me. Hinata, activate your Byakugan, and Sakura, stay by the bridge builder. Right, they all responded. Byakugan, she yelled, activating her Kekkei Genkei, causing her to gasp. Afterwards she saw thousands of chakra lines flowing through the fog. You must be surprised, Hyuga. The last thing you would think to see were disembodied chakra veins, chuckled Zabuza. Suddenly water was poured onto the bridge deck surrounding Hinata. Mirrors began to erupt from the water, and then, it happened. Thousands of senbons rained down onto her, cutting her, slicing her. She couldn't do anything. Her body was be subjected to a fast and immense pain. Over and over again she tried her best to avoid the senbons, but they would always hit her. She screamed in pain, but no one helped. They were too busy. Meanwhile, Zabuza was fighting Kakashi head-on. He had summoned one of his ice golems to fight Sasuke. They were large silverback-like creatures that consisted of nothing but ice and were masters of ice jutsu and water jutsu. While Kakashi and Sasuke thought this was a pathetic attack, as Sasuke had the fireball jutsu, the creature could counter them with ice and water jutsu and could regenerate its wound from the melted water and the water in the mist, making it have not only an unlimited amount of water for its jutsu but also faster to regenerate. Kurama had just woke up. He walked into the living room where Inari was watching the TV. "Where's everybody?" Suddenly Inari's mood changed. "Getting themselves killed," he coldly replied. "I am guessing they're at the bridge," he said as he left. Kurama got there and immediately found the mirrors. He peeked inside but wished he hadn't. Inside he found the injured Hyuga bleeding half to death. He ran after her immediately and looked at her wounds, but her eyes were closed. Suddenly he felt rage consume his mind. His seal began to spread across his body. The lines covered his body. His blonde hair turned a Kyuubi orange, his skin became a bit darker and his eyes transformed. The white of his eyes became a solid black while his eyes became slitted. "What this power? This must be the nine-tailed fox," she exclaimed. "I am gonna kill you," he yelled. "What happened to him? He's totally changed from the boy I met yesterday," she thought. "Take this." He jumped towards the mirror she was in. But she jumped to another. However, he grabbed her leg and smashed her into the ground, making her unconscious. The Kekkei Genkai deactivated, making the mirrors smash. Kurama was on top of Hinata's body. He didn't care if his chakra had adverse effect. He just wanted her alive and began to heal her. After 2 minutes nothing happened other a few grumbles that made him relived. Suddenly Kakashi and Sasuke were kicked into view by two figures that could not be seen until they appeared into focus. One was the inhuman golem, the other was Zabuza. Kurama put out his hand and began to spin with the other hand. The chakra grew and grew until it had become an orb of yellow and black chakra. "Caged Tama. Alternate form," he yelled, slamming it into the golem. Arrows began to surround the body of the golem before surrounding it completely and then disappeared. The golem blue eyes became yellow. Suddenly the golem began to attack Zabuza. It resisted but still attacked him. Zabuza was forced to cut him in half, making the golem cryogenic blood come out, freezing his sword and smashing it to bits. "Damn!" exclaimed Zabuza. Suddenly out from the fog came Kurama with a hero Tama in hand. He put out his head forward. Before destroying and murdering Zabuza, the blast ripped the skin of Zabuza, revealing his muscle. Before that was ripped off and all but the skeleton remained. Blood splattered everywhere as the skeleton fell to the ground. Well, looks like the demon of the mist was all a sham." "What a pathetic pile of shit," said Gato, surrounded by his men. "Fresh meat, how fun." "What?" gasped Gato. "Your blood won't taste good, but I'll put up with it for now." "Huh." Suddenly the orange, blonde-haired Uzumaki heir ran towards them and slammed into two guys, punching them in the face before smashing their heads together. Then two chakra tentacles appeared out of his back. They latched onto a man and ripped his head off. They then cut off 15 other guys' limbs. He turned and extended two more tentacles. They lashed out, killing more people. The red aura that was growing on Kurama created two tails which were attacking people. "Strip the flesh." A demonic voice boomed. Suddenly a large chunk of red chakra stemmed out of his back. Two hands came out from each side and a fox head appeared. It looked like the Kyuubi. The demon roared and killed everyone but Gato. He walked up to him. The fat midget pleaded for his life when the Kyuubi chakra body grabbed him and ate him. His body burned up inside the Kyuubi body from the chakra strain. "Farther, help me," pleaded Kurama as he fell onto feet. The Kyuubi started to hug him as the seal began unspread and went back to normal. The Kyuubi soon disappeared after calming Kurama. After a while, "Hinata," he exclaimed as he ran over to her. "Kuramamaru-kun," she muttered. "Oh, thank Kami you're alive," he said, almost crying. "I don't feel so good." Her eyes turned a bit purple but then went back to her pale color. It had been several days since they got back from the land of waves and Kurama was resting up. Haku had been placed as a nin for Team 7 during sea levels and above but wasn't allowed to do petty tasks because of her background. They were still checking out her loyalty to Konoha, but the only one she thought she had any loyalty to was Kurama. She understood his pain for something that wasn't his fault, though Kurama made sure it didn't get into that area because of his relationship with Hinata. Hinata was getting stronger by the day. Her chakra reserves were growing thanks to experience and she learned new jutsu, including the gentle step twin lion fists. Her medical skills were increasing after Kurama taught her how heal. She began to learn how to heal increasingly more dangerous wounds and create cures and medication out of leaves. Needless to say, she already a good medic nin. Kurama Uzumaki, formerly known as Naruto Uzumaki, had learned how to control his seal more, unlocking a third state known as Gakido state. Each of the marks of his seal allowed him to go into a different form. This allowed for different jutsu to be used and change his affinity. His newly unlocked Gakido state, once active, allowed his hair to grow longer and retain its yellow color. His eyes became more red and his whisker marks grew bolder. This form allowed him to control and manipulate black flames that he could spit, throw and fire. He already discovered his wind and fire affinity and experimented with his fire abilities. He discovered he could use his wind and fire to create smoke. This allowed him to create smoke release. The abilities were limited at the moment. The best he could do was solidify the smoke in order to create some weapons. These included kunai. He could also now absorb smoke into his body, but in reality he just put smoke cells on top of his existing cells and skin and cloths. This allowed him to create kunai at will. Sasuke's skill didn't change much to his disappointment or rage. He flipped a table once or twice, but inside he was even more pissed. He was at the level of killing himself to activate his Sharingan, but nothing worked. The pathetic Uchiha watched as his teammates grew superior in strength, jutsu, chakra control and more while he was left in the dirt. Even Kakashi was pissed at his lack of progress. Despite learning the Chidori, they still had superior power. It was Friday and Kakashi had just told them about the Chunin exam and all had accepted, even Haku was included. They were all exited, everyone had accepted. They met each other at the correct room, not the Genjutsu room, and applied. Afterwards they walked into the room. "Hey Sasuke!" yelled Sakura. All of them groaned except Haku, who didn't understand. "Hey, well, guess what, at least he likes me." Sakura was furious. She went in to punch her but then felt a hand on her wrist. The next thing she knew she was thrown towards Hinata, who knocked her out. "Thank Kuramaru-kun, I needed to put that bitch out," making the blonde-haired Uzumaki smile. "You're welcome," he beamed back, making her giggle while Kurama chuckled with her. All the other were quite shocked. First, the young, timid Hyuga heiress just knocked out Sakura Haruno. Second, she and Kuramaru had just giggled about it like it was nothing, and third, she was fucking giggling, a spectacle no one had seen from the shy Hyuga. Hi, Hinata!" exclaimed Kiba. Kiba always tried to talk to Hinata, but he realized she liked Kurama more. Maybe that's why he bullied him as a child, but he was still always left in the dirt. "What?" she barked, making him flinch. "It's just," he paused. "Why have you changed so much?" She looked at him puzzled. "I don't know what you mean by change. I haven't even changed a bit." "Well, actually," started Shino, Sakura, Sasuke and Kiba. "Whatever," said Hinata before she turned around to Kuramaru, dismissing their concern. "Hey, you guys, calm down," said an unknown voice. "Kabuto!" yelled a happy Kuramaru. "Oh, hey there, Uzu," he replied. "Wait, Kuramaru-kun, you know him?" "Yeah, I've known since I was a child, but he was part of the Anbu adoption program, so I didn't meet him much." "So why did he call you Uzu?" "Oh, that's my nickname, because I am from the Uzumaki clan." "A bit uninspired, don't you think?" Kurama just shrugged his shoulders and laughed. "So you want to get some info on your opponents?" "Sure," said Kurama. "Okay then, who?" asked Kabuto. "I want to see who the best of my team. I also want to see Gaara of the Sands card," he said. It had been 4 days since he met Gaara of the Sand, and let's just say they didn't get on with the Sand Nin immediately. The only Sand Nin there that seemed a challenge was Gaara of the Sand. What scared the Sand Nin was Kurama's likeness to Gaara. It scarred them shitless to see a second Gaara walking around, but it might have secretly comforted Gaara and Kurama to know someone else knew their pain. "Are those Sand Nin?" asked Hinata as they hopped from building to Ichiraku's. "Wait, what?" asked Kurama. He said, stopping. He looked down to the pavement where he saw 3 children. One he recognized on the ground in front of 2 Sand Nin. One was a woman with blonde hair, the other was a man with black clothing and purple war paint with a puppet attached to back covered in cloths. "Hey, what do you think you doing?" yelled Kurama as he jumped from the roof and smacked the purple war paint wearing one in the face, knocking him to the ground, causing Kurama to fling himself into the air and land on his feet. "Konohamaru, are you alright?" "Yeah, Kurama," he weakly said. "You bastard, you'll pay for that," yelled an enraged Konkoro. "Konkoro, stop," said a firm voice. They both looked up. There was a younger sibling standing on a tree branch with his hands crossed. Come on, let's go. He looked at Kurama. Interesting, you must be Naruto Uzumaki, the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox. How did you know? He asked. Both of the others stopped and stared. Besides, I've retracted my name. I am known as Kuramamaru now, he announced. Interesting, the reason I know is that I can feel its presence within you. It's stronger I've ever felt. You've embraced your hatred as have I. You've become demon like me. He smiled. I am the host of the one-tailed beast Shukaku of the sand. I understand your pain, Kuramamaru Uzumaki. I find it interesting that you renamed yourself after the demon that made your life a misery. Well, actually two things. One, my mother named me this when I was a child in honor of the demon, and two, the beast himself comforted my lonely existence by adopting me. Mothers, is your mother alive, Kuramamaru? I don't know, he said, angry. Interesting, so why were you called Naruto before? Because my fucking father, the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze, sealed it within my body after ripping it out of my mother's body and hopefully wanting to absorb its chakra and use it as a weapon. I believe that your mother is wanting to meet you. He smiled. Soon, Kuramamaru, you will find your destiny and soon a new family, he said before he disappeared in a puff of smoke, revealing he was a shadow clone. So that was Gaara. Why is obsessed about his mother? Gaara is adopted. He had the Shukaku sealed within him when we found him and we took him in. Or farther, his adoptive father wanted to control the Shukaku from the moment we found him. Found him? He questioned. Yeah, 13 years ago there was disturbance in the mountains nearby a small village where some of our sages rest was attacked by a unleashed Shukaku. It was sealed in Gaara. Everyone was dead and we believed that the creature killed the sealer, though we never found any proof. The three of you easy. Kabuto placed his fingers on two cars. They began spin as in profile appeared on the first two. They were Sasuke and Hinata. Okay, says here that Hinata is an A with her ninjutsu, B with her taijutsu, and C+ with her genjutsu. She's been on 40D rank missions, 2 C rank, 4 B rank and 0 A rank or S rank. Wait, since when did you go on an additional C rank and 4 B rank? Asked Sasuke. After I left the hospital I was only there a day. Kurama healed most of my wounds on the way home, so I was fine. Arg, was Sasuke manage in his rage. Next we have Sasuke Uchiha A+ ninjutsu, C taijutsu and C genjutsu 40D rank, 2 C rank, 0 B, A and S ranks 40D rank, 2 C rank, 1 B rank and no A or C as expected, he said. Finally, Kuramamaru Uzumaki S+ ninjutsu, a taijutsu and B genjutsu 40D rank, 4 C rank, 6 B rank and oh wow, an A rank and hell even an S rank. How the hell did you get those? Well, I may have snuck into the Hokage's office, found a few S ranks and A ranks, completed them and told the Hokage. He smiled. They're pretty easy. Hell, you have Senjutsu score here as well. You're AC rank, but no one else here can do that. Instantly makes you a Jonin. Well, what about Gaara? Oh yeah, S rank in ninjutsu and A in Tai, while lacking in general with only AC. He's completed 100 D ranks, 30 C ranks, 10 A ranks and 3 S ranks, never done any B ranks, and adopted son of the 4th Cage. Interesting, he said, sounding like Gaara himself. You sounded like him then, Hinata giggled. Interesting, he repeated like Gaara, making her giggle. Oh, this is interesting. You and Gaara haven't come back with any significant wounds. Everybody gasped other than Hinata, while Kuramamaru just grinned. That's bullshit, it has to be, yelled Sasuke. Well, I can vouch that I've never came back with a wound, said a stern voice. Standing behind them was Gaara. So then you must be Gaara? I am looking forward to facing you, said Sasuke. The only person I want to face is Kuramamaru Uzumaki, he said, pointing at the blonde. What? Why would you want to fight a loser like him? He has no skill. Why would you want to fight him instead of the last Uchiha? Because you were in the hospital for 3 weeks while the Uzumaki was only in there for a day. Obviously he is stronger than you. What? No, he's not. I mean, if he didn't come back without a scratch, then why was he in the hospital? Gaara just shrugged his shoulders and walked off. Arg! Suddenly a door flung open. Alright maggots, it's time to take the written test, barked Ibiki. He quickly went through the rules while some got upset. They began the written test in 10 minutes. Kurama had finished the test and started to take a nap. Meanwhile, Hinata used her Byakugan to steal Kuramamaru answers. She felt a little dirty doing so, but it didn't matter knowing he didn't mind. Meanwhile, Sasuke just wrote down the answer, though he was stuck on number 6. After an hour and a half they were told about question 10 and passed. Then Anko came in, fucking up her presentation, which made Kurama smile. Then she took them to the forest of death, a statement which is quite funny seeing how uncaringly she told them about it and the rules. HMPH sounds easy. Suddenly a kunai whipped past his face and a small cut appeared on his cheek. Suddenly Anko was behind him with a kunai licking the blood of his cheek. If you think this going to be easy, then you're sorely mistaken, she said with a kunai to his face. All he did was smile. What shocked her is when she looked at the cut, it was gone. What's the matter, have you spotted my gift already? He questioned. I would hardly call it a gift, she thought, but what creeped her out more was his red eyes. Where now SLITED. Oh, you look like you're about to shit your pants? He laughed. Anyway, my team should go its way. Bye? Making it awfully pale man smiled. He turned to the hooded figure next to him and nodded, making the figure disappear. Why you little, she started but stopped when Ibiki stopped her. It had been about 40 minutes since they got into the forest. Kurama was in charge by a landslide and they were constantly moving. Suddenly a large snake appeared and attacked them, spreading them out. Auk! Spitted Sasuke as he fell to one of the tree branches. Arg! Said Hinata as she hit the floor. HMPH! Muttered Kurama as he landed on the tree trunk. Ah! Said Haku as she landed several feet away from them. Interesting, out of the four of you, you landed on your feet, said a pale man. Who are you? No normal genin should be able to summon. He yelled. And you were able to tell that I am using a summon and that normal genin would be unable to perform such a jutsu. Well done, Kurama. How do you know my name? He yelled back, jumping to the ground picking up Hinata. I am okay, Kuramamaru-kun, she answered as she got up. Sure, yeah, it seems like this young Hyuga is a large concern to him. He smiled. I will give her and him the curse mark to bend their will and have them come to me with her natural power while Q gets to have her son back. His head suddenly extended and bit Hinata's neck. She started to spasm out of control as purple chakra covered her body. What did you do to her? Screamed Kurama in utter rage. He grabbed Orochimaru's head and slammed it into his knee, before slamming Orochimaru twice in the face, causing him to retract his head. Blood poured out of his noose and his mouth. Nothing much, I've just given her a cursed seal. What kind? What do you mean, what kind? I already have a cursed mark, mine is known as the Oni mark. Interesting, the one I have just given your teammate is the cursed mark of hell. I am sure she will love my little gift. Hell, maybe she will forget about you and become my apprentices, he said, grinning a slimy smile. You take that back, you bastard. Kuramamaru's voice became more demonic as his body transformed. He grew orange hair and his became more red. His fingernails grew longer and turned black. He grew a chakra shroud with 3 tails. I am the son of the Kyuubi no Yoko. I am Kuramaru Uzumaki. You will fear my name when I shout it out. If you kill me, you'll call it self-defense. If I kill you, I'll call it vengeance. He screamed as he lunged at Orochimaru, but he avoided his attack. Now if you kill me, how will you ever find your mother? Said Orochimaru as he smiled with a shit-eating grin. What? How dare you talk about my mother? She's dead. Kushina Uzumaki is dead. Not really. If you want to find out, you must come to Otto, he smiled. There you will meet her. Bullshit, once I get there you're gonna backstab me or try and torture me for information on Konoha. I've already been told that lie and I am not going to fall for such a pathetic lie. He screamed. Red chakra began to condense itself into a ball. Kage Tama! Screamed Kurama as he shot various black tentacles towards Orochimaru, who jumped out the way. However, his summon did not fare better as 60 shadow tentacles impaled the massive snake to the ground. Such power at such a young age, Orochimaru gasped. He could give any of the Sannin a run for their money. Unknown to them, Sasuke was alive and could see the battle well, except the curse mark being placed on Hinata. Now's my chance, his mind raced. Here I go. He yelled as he throwed a giant shuriken at him. He dogged it, but it cut his face, making his mask rip off, revealing Orochimaru. They both gasped while Hinata laid on curtains. Wow, really, Orochimaru of the legendary Sannin? How you're pretty pathetic, you know that. What, how can you just be like, hey, you're one of legendary Sannin, huh? And shrug your shoulders like you don't care? Demanded Sasuke. Because I don't. Wah! The next thing he knew, he just watched Kuramamaru attack the Sannin. After a bit he caused the Uchiha to be knocked out from the chakra they were releasing. After a bit Orochimaru retreated. While Kurama wanted to follow him, Hinata, being his most important thing in the world, needed more attention. Oh, Hina-chan, what did he do to you? He said, leaving his demonic form. What happened? Oh, Haku, there you are. Where have you been? I was attacked by this woman. Crazy bitch bit me then I passed out. Yeah, so much happened I didn't know you left. What happened? Some guy on a snake attacked me and bit Hina-chan. I think he was gonna bite me but I stopped him. Hina-chan? She said, raising an eyebrow. What about it? He hissed. It's just that such a title is reserved for loved ones. She paused. Oh, I get it, she's your girlfriend. What? Yelled Kuramaru, blushing. Ninja must always hide his emotions, she said, grinning. Haku, are you joking? His flustered state soon turned to a state of embarrassment. Why are you looking shocked? She asked, grinning. Whatever, just help me with Hinata. I'll try my best but I can't be as good as I should. Why? Because I am a shadow clone. Then where's the real you? She's been knocked out. The woman made her faint when she bit her. Damn it, where are you? By the bank of the nearby swamp. I'll look after Hinata and Sasuke. He nodded and quickly reappeared with the young Momochi in hand, putting her besides the two other. After 2 hours Sasuke woke up but he wasn't in a good mood. I mean, picture this, you're a stuck-up Uchiha with the biggest ego ever, you wear top of your class in everything. Then the next thing you know, the dead last, the loser, the doby, the monster, the freak that everybody hates turns around and defeats one of the 3 cage-level Sannin. How would that make you feel? Well, for this particular Uchiha, pretty fucking pissed. Next, Haku woke up when Kurama checked her back. He saw a tattoo with 3 tomoe in a circle. What was worrying Kurama was Hinata. She was out cold, her body space met occasionally, so that wasn't a good start. Next was her pained expression, and finally he was worried about Orochimaru. I mean, one of the legendary Sannin just attacked him. Sure, he was pretty weak, but he thought Orochimaru was more concerned with putting the curse mark on Hinata and was probably holding back. What concerned him more is the fact that he said his mother is alive. Grim memories of that family popped into his mind. Though Orochimaru wasn't one to trust, he wondered why he would say something like that, though it might have been a ploy to get to betray the village and go to Otto. The others, Sasuke and Haku, went to try and ambush a squad for their scroll. In the meantime, Kurama was taking care of Hinata. Suddenly a group of sound ninjas and leaf nins appeared. There were 6 in total and they drew out their kunai. Kabuto, what are you doing? Sorry Naruto, I mean Kurama, it's just businesses, said Kabuto as he drew his kunai. Let me guess, you want my scroll. Indeed. So why don't you kill the sound nins and take theirs? Because they have heaven scroll and so do we. I already know you have earth scroll. Damn it, I don't want to kill Kabuto, nor do I want to kill his team, but they're forcing me to, well, kill them. Zaku, go ahead, have some fun, said the masked one. Sure Dosu. He paused, decimating airwaves. He yelled, hitting Kurama. He was stunned. He was seeing triples, no quads. He suddenly smacked in the mouth by the ninja and thrown across the floor. Next, Dosu attacked him, followed by Kin. The repeated attacks caused Kurama's head to throb. He entered Oni form and sent on of his liquid chakra tentacles to kill one of the leaf nins. Knowing they were not expecting an up-front attack, they dodged and Kabuto threw a couple of senbons, but they were useless as he summoned a shroud of red chakra deflecting them. Trust me Kabuto, they were useless my last mission and they're useless now, he laughed, now only seeing doubles. Decimating airwaves. Kurama was then thrown across the area. Decimating airwaves. He yelled again, injuring Kurama while he was down. You bastard. Again, blasted him. Again, blasted him again. Again, blasted him once more. Ah! He screamed as he was hit. Was the 3rd repetitive attack as he fell unconscious. Wait, what's this power? They gasped when they looked behind them. Standing there was Hinata. Purple chakra flowed around her in a ghostly shroud. She had spiral-like marks around the right side of her body and her hair had black streaks in it. Don't you dare hurt Kurama-kun or… She paused. I'll kill you, she hissed with venom in her tone. Calm down, little girl, started on of the leaf nin, but the next thing he knew his arms had been removed. Hinata licked the blood of her arms as he wailed in pain. Hinata turned around to the 2nd nin before driving a kunai into his throat. The others got the message and ran for the hills. Hinata quickly ran to the unconscious Kurama and started to treat his wounds. Kuramaru-kun, I can't lose you, I just can't, she begged. Wah, who are you? He spoke. What, it's me, Hinata. Really, what's happened to you? You look different, you have black and blue hair, it looks so pretty, he said, reaching out for her head, making her blush. Kurama, this isn't time for you to be commenting about my hair, save your energy. I love you, Hina-chan, he said, falling unconscious again, making her blush. No, Kurama, wake up please. But it was no use. Quickly Sasuke and Haku appeared and found the transformed Hyuga. She turned around to see them instantly. She was angry. You You abandoned him, now look what happened. She yelled. If you didn't leave you wouldn't be wounded, I'll kill you. She yelled, activating her Byakugan. She summoned her twin lions and jumped to them, however now her lions formed in purple chakra and looked more like tigers than lions. What the who are you? Exclaimed Sasuke, dodging the attack. Shut up, Sasuke. Kuramaru hated you. You were so stuck up for your precious clan. What if your clan hated you, then you wish they were all dead? He froze, realizing that her conflicting emotions was driving her mad. Hinata, wait, he's not dead, yelled Haku. What? Exclaimed Hinata. Hinata? Asked Sasuke. Hinata leapt to Kurama. Her black hair disappeared as well as the spirals on her right side and deactivated her Byakugan, shocking Sasuke, who thought she was someone else. He's been wounded, but he's gonna be okay. Oh, Kuramaru-kun, as long as you're okay I'll be fine, she said. It's obvious you have feeling for him, Hinata. I don't want to be intruding in anything, but why? When I was young some bullies cornered me and were picking on me, but that's when I meet him. He saved me from those bullies. She paused as she smiled. You should have seen his clone at the time, it was really pathetic. Still, he saved me. I always noted that he looked in the face of danger with such courage. When I got older, in fact it was only a couple of weeks ago, I started to talk to him more. He said he would never let my clan hurt me again. That must have been before the Land of Waves mission. I overheard that when I told about the meeting. What do you mean let your clan hurt you? Immediately she tightened her fists. My clan always looks at me with such hatred. They don't see the next Hyuga heiress, they see a screw-up that can barely take any punches. I am so weak, but, she paused. Kurama has faith in me and says that one day I will be a strong kunoichi. I must become stronger. No, I need to become stronger in order to protect who I love. She looked at Kurama with her lovely lavender eyes. 3 hours later and Kurama had woken up. Hey, what's going on you guys? Mumbled Kurama as he got up, though he was instantly floored. Kuramaru-kun, yelled Hinata as she leapt on top of him, hugging him. Whoa, he yelped as he blushed on the ground. It was quite a sweet scene to watch. Haku smiled. Even Sasuke couldn't help but smirk. Come on you guys, me and Haku stole a scroll, let's get to the tower. They both nodded. 1 hour later. We're almost there, said Sasuke. Come on, let's keep on moving, said Haku. HMPH, come on Squad 7. Let's rock, yelled Kurama, letting a bit of the old Naruto out, making them all chuckle. They suddenly barged into the tower with grins on the face when they discovered that only the Chunin nins had arrived. Yet Gaara smiled, knowing he finally had someone that was worth his effort, while Temari and Kankuro were shocked. They were 4 of them. After 10 minutes Neji's team appeared, which pissed off Hinata and Neji. How could I, the Hyuga prodigy, be beaten by that pathetic excuse for a ARG? Exclaimed Neji, but the next thing he knew was Kurama holding him by his throat. Don't you dare threaten Hina-chan like that or I'll kill you. He yelled. Please don't kill him, I haven't been able to beat him. Exclaimed a green suit wearing bowl cut with bushy brows. Who are you? Asked Kurama as he dropped Neji, who was gasping for air. My name is Rock Lee, I hope to become a ninja who can only use taijutsu, he responded. For the power of youth burns bright within my soul, he exclaimed. Yeah, Kurama said awkwardly. After 15 minutes Team 8 appeared, as well as the sound team and the lone Kabuto who was put onto the sound team. Meanwhile in the forest, Anko was running through the forest. She detected Orochimaru's chakra hours ago but still couldn't find him. She also detected a more dark and sinister chakra, Kurama's chakra. She continued until she heard a yell. What the? She exclaimed as she went towards the yell. When she got there she found a woman with pale skin. She had red hair and she had slited golden eyes before they turned into crimson eyes, similar like the Team 8 leader. Who are you? Causing her to turn around, she was wearing a red uniform that was similar to the Sound 4 with black belt and a black and red gourd on her back filled with napalm. Ah, don't you remember me? Making Anko look puzzled. Princess Anko? Anko gasped. You can't be. But I am. She paused. I would kill you, but the memories get in the way. I have to say thank you for not being like the rest of the village and not attacking my son. What, since when did you have a child? She asked. 13 years ago on that night. But how are alive? Unfortunately I was captured and then, she paused, I meet Orochimaru, making Anko gasp. What are you doing here? Just thinning out the numbers for my son. Suddenly her body became black and wrapped away without a trace. Damn it, said the purple-haired snake mistress. 1 day later. And day passed but nobody else arrived, whether it was killed by the woman or just didn't make it. Either way, the Chunin exams had to go on. Sarutobi told them the true purpose of the Chunin exams. Kurama looked around the room. He saw Team 8 with Kurenai, Team 6 also known as Shika Ino Choji with Asura, but also saw the Sand siblings and Baki, while the Sound Ninja had a mysterious woman with purple hair like Anko's. She had purple eye shadow along with purple lipstick, pale skin. Apparently her name was Aki. The last team is what disturbed Kurama the most. It was the same man who disguised himself as Orochimaru. His other two team members were probably in on it as well. Kabuto quiet, and soon the fights began. They moved to the seats where they could watch the fights and the large screen. The screen started to scan through the names. Everyone was tense. Everyone knew toughest ones were Gaara, Rock Lee and Neji. Still no one knew that the former class clown turned psychopathic badass Kurama and the supposed weak Hinata would dwarf all of their powers. Naruto Uzumaki vs Kiba Inuz aka Ping the Machine. Naruto, why did they change his name? Thought the mystery woman. It's our lucky day, Akamaru, we get the scraps. He laughed as he walked down the platform. Suddenly Kurama threw a kunai. Everyone gasped other than the mystery woman and Hinata. When kunai hit the floor, everyone noticed the talisman on the kunai. Sarutobi's eyes widened. Suddenly Kurama was right in front of Kiba, who flinched. What's the matter, pup? Smirked Kurama. Hi. Immediately Kiba found himself dodging blows from Kurama. He jumped away, making distance between them. Whoa, what the hell, when did you get so strong? Like I told you, Inazaka, I always this strong. I hid behind my mask. After Iruka tried to kill me, Naruto Uzumaki died. He yelled in a crazed and husky voice. Don't you understand? My power is greater than almost anyone in this room. Hell, I can rival a fucking Saninn. He laughed. Now you will die. The seal on his neck grew as it covered his body. His hair grew longer and became this time a dark traditional Uzumaki red. His body was covered in a strange tattoo and his claws and canines grew longer. His eyes glowed red and the white became black. This was stage 2 of his seal Gakido, causing him to grin. He has a curse mark, but Orochimaru not has made one like that, thought mysterious woman who was disguised as Aki. Gakido state fire styled cage flame jutsu. Yelled Kurama. Suddenly a ball of black fire like the grand fireball technique was launched out of Kurama's mouth like a seething dragon filled of darkness and hate. Kiba was scared shitless, but he managed to dodge the attack as the fire inflamed a wall. What? How did he do that? Yelled Sasuke, who was enraged as a non-Uchiha had such a powerful fire style. The overzealous Uchiha had forgotten that not everyone had to be an Uchiha to use fire style. Atta boy, Kurama kick his ass, said Hinata as he beamed a smile to him. The mysterious woman is Aki. She seems to like him. I guess I won't have to kill him. What? Yelled Kiba was the only thing he could say as two large chakra arms grabbed onto him, tightening his grip on him from his back. Kurama put his hands under him. Blue and red bubbles flew out of him and were fused and merged together. Sarutobi gasped as he realized he had summoned the Kyuubi's chakra. Stop him! Stop him, for the love of Kami, stop him! Yelled Sarutobi. Kakashi and Asura jumped into action while Team 8's leader stood there frozen, remembering the technique. Yet it was too late. The blast was fired. Akiba was killed. The shockwave knocked Kakashi back as well as Asura. The smoke began to clear and there was a massive crater where Kiba once stood. All there was now was blood, flesh and bone. Karma's a bitch, said Kurama, deactivating his seal. You bastard! Yelled Kakashi and Kurenai, who attacked him, throwing blows at him. Kurenai attacked him with an S-level genjutsu, but the jutsu didn't work. Meanwhile Kakashi tried to punch him. Kurama then knocked out Asuma and Kurenai before doing the same to Kakashi before poofing up to a balcony. Hinata looked at him with an evil smile and kissed him on the cheek, making him blush. Kurama had been apprehended. He wasn't going to be thrown in prison, nor would he receive any punishment, but he was told he had to leave the stadium. Doing so, they took him to a room, gave him a chair, a table and some lunch and left, looking the door. Kurama just put his head down on the table after finishing the bowl of ramen and put in a corner so he could lay his head on the table when suddenly a woman began to seep through the locked door. Kurama instinctively leapt out the way and prepared a kunai. She was seeping out slowly, but the moment she was out of the door and stopped seeping, she suddenly appeared in front of Kurama, deflected the kunai in his hand, took his pouch and threw it away before hugging him. Wah, what are you doing? I'll explain everything, but I need a moment. Get of me, you're not my mother, he said, shoving her off. Instead she smiled and deactivated her hand, showing him her bright red hair. Yes I am. What? I am your mother. Bullshit, the last time anybody said that was when that family tried to kill me. Get away from me, you're not my mother, he yelled. What's your name anyway? Q Uzumaki. Well, my mother was named Kushina. Didn't skin that pale just go away, he yelled. Hey, what's going on? Said Anko. Wait, it's you. Do you know this woman Anko? Asked Asura, who was accompanying her. Yes I do. But before she could finish, Q attacked them with her snakes, making them get knocked out. Suddenly the woman disappeared. What the hell was that? Said Anko out loud as she got up. That bitch said she was my mother, as he put out a hand to pull her up, which shocked her a bit. After watching the same child that murdered a 13-year-old boy in cold blood, he seemed to be quite polite, even if he did just curse in his last statement. Thanks. She paused. What your name again? She asked. Kuramaru Uzumaki. Making her eyes widen, she connected the dots. Just then she realized the encounter with her previous sensei was the mother of the host of the Nine Tails. It all made sense, yet still she couldn't help but notice how she revealed to her children as sons. Do you have a brother or anything? A brother? No. Why do you ask? Oh, no reason. Lord Hokage-sama, I have urgent news, said Anko. My former second sensei has returned. I believe she is after Kuramaru. Who? The Uzumaki. Why did you call him that? He said that was his name. Interesting. Still, I am forced to keep the Chunin exams open. Maybe we can lure her out during the finals. Yes, Lord Hokage, but I also request something. And what is that? After Kakashi got out of hand and tried to kill Kurama, I believe that I should start training him. Oh really? He responded. Why is that? Well, I just feel this urge to help him. He has a lot of talent already, but I could teach him taijutsu and genjutsu as well as summons, of which he lacks. Very well, you will start his training during the break between the prelims and finals. She nodded as she poofed away. Hinata saw Kurama as he approached the stand and hugged him while he hugged back. Sasuke looked at the pair and raised an eyebrow while Haku just smiled. So what happened? Ino and Sakura had drawn. Shika, Tamari, Konkoro and Dosu won. The only ones left are me, Hinata, Gaara, Rock Lee, Neji and some guy the first don't care about named Yori. Anyway, the screen's about to get started. Hinata Hyuga vs Neji. Hyuga pinged the large screen. Instantly the two Hyugas smirked evilly as they both jumped down and landed on their feet. HMPH, pathetic heiress, said the smug Neji, making Kurama growl. Shut up you fucking rat, shocking him while Q smiled. Wow, she seemed pretty tough, thought Q. Hi. Immediately they ran to each other. Hinata dodged several blows from Neji while she activated her Byakugan. She jumped out the way of his 8th blow to activate her twin lions, which shocked Neji as he had not seen them before. She ran towards him, landing 2 relatively powerful strikes on his body. He swiped her feet under, making her land to the ground, but she jumped out the way. That jutsu that's supposed to be for Chunin. He chuckled. I guess our timid Hyuga heir has a ace up her sleeve. Well, I let you have a look at mine, he said, resting into his gentle fist stance before his activating Byakugan. He ran towards her. 64 palms. He yelled before striking her multiple times, darting her around like a pinball. After the jutsu was complete, she stood there wounded but hurt. Almost all of her chakra points were blocked. I won't give up, huff huff, not until huff huff I prove to him, huff huff, I am truly strong, huff huff asterisk, said the panting Hinata. Why would you go so far for him? He's a monster. Don't you know that? He yelled. Silence, she yelled. Don't you dare call Kuramaru-kun a monster. He's anything but, and if he's a monster then I am monster too, she said. And now you threaten him. I want to prove that I am strong enough to protect him and the others I love, like my little sister and Kuramaru-kun, she said, throwing some punches. The problem is, Hinata, no matter how much you try you be doomed to failure, he said, blasting her in the gut. She flew across the prelims arena floor before flipping over and being knocked out cold. I am sorry, my Kurama Maru kun, but I can't go on. Hinata, yelled Kuramaru as he jumped to her even though she was across the room and he was from 50 feet balcony, making everyone. He ran to her and sat on his knees. Don't worry, she will be okay, said a medic Nin. He turned to Neji. Just you wait, Neji Hyuga, I am gonna kill you, he exclaimed with pure venom in his tone. Okay, you two settle down, said Hayate. Fine, they said simultaneously. Gaara Uzumaki vs Rock Lee pinged the machine. Kurama, Sasuke's and Rock Lee eyes shot open. Wait, you two are from the same family, But you a sand nin and you're a leaf? Asked Sasuke. Well actually we're from an all but destroyed clan. Making Sasuke eye widen. See your clan's Fuinjutsu accidentally destroyed the land of the whirlpool and destroyed Uzu they were spread out and my mother fled to Konoha while Gaara's mother must have gone to Suna. Still I am surprised to meet another member of my clan. Sasuke was speechless. Not only was the Uzumaki a clan but they were all but wiped out like his own. So then are Kankuro and Temari members too? No, just me. Interesting. Instantly Kurama thought of Hinata's giggle and became concerned. Gaara leapt to the ground and faced toward Lee. The growing killer intent on Gaara's face scared Temari. This isn't good. Why? When he's like this he's a monster. Meanwhile Rock Lee had been forced to take of his weights. They're just weights, what's the difference? Said Temari. No, they're chakra weights. The more chakra you put into them the heavier they are. So how much do they weigh? Smash. About that much, laughed Kurama. Suddenly Rock Lee rushed around the tournament but it was no use. Even if Lee gave Gaara a cut, Lee managed. He had to use 8 gates but poor Lee discovered it was hollow, meaning the now exhausted Lee would collapse anytime soon. Quickly Gaara latched onto him using his sand and preformed sand coffin, which caused the taijutsu ninja to be incredibly wounded. I must kill him, said Gaara, but Rock Lee's sensei Mike Guy stopped his attack. His head started to throb while Kurama's head throbbed to just a bit as well. Gaara began to yell about his mother before he calmed down and walked away. Afterwards Sasuke won his fight with the Yori and they began to leave, but as they left the Hokage appeared before Kurama and asked to have a word with him. Naruto, I know that you're very strong but there's someone who would really like to work with you on your jutsu with you. Her name's Enko Mitarashi. She wants to become your teacher and sensei. While during the break, Kurama's eyes widened. He was going to correct the Hokage on the fact that his name was Kuramamaru but he didn't know whether or not he was in on it, and second he was too excited about learning from the snake mistress of Konoha, Enko Mitarashi herself. Or really, that's really cool, he said. You will meet her in the morning at the training ground where Kakashi usually trains you, causing Kurama to chuckle. What is it? Nothing really, just the idea of Kakashi teaching me anything. Pretty silly anyway. What happened to him? Kakashi has been taken to have a psych evaluation and 30-day discharge from duty along with Asuma and Kurenai. Okay, bye. Bye, as he watched Kurama run off into the distance after Hinata. The next day Kurama arrived and sat down quickly. Enko appeared. You got her fast. I am half an hour late. Well, I am used with Kakashi being late for 2, so you're pretty early for me, making her chuckle. Okay, so then you're Kurama, correct? He nodded. Well, my name is Enko Mitarashi. I am gonna be your new master, sensei, from now on. Okay. He nodded. Today I am gonna try and teach you how to summon, and if you get that down I'll be able to show you how to preform hidden shadow snake hands. Making him beam a smile back on her. If anything made him happy in this world it was trustful people. Hinata, and learning new jutsu. His chakra control had improved radically since the Land of Waves. Hell, it was incredible before he knew initially how to manifest and control chakra, so this was going to be easy. So how do I do it? Well, first you need to sign this scroll. In a puff of smoke a large scroll with summoning written on it was shown. Kurama unrolled the scroll to see several names: Orochimaru, Enko, Kabuto and Kushina Uzumaki, which shocked Kurama. How the hell is my mother's signature here? Huh, wait, is this Kushina person your mother? Yeah, that can't be. You were orphaned by birth, but this signature appeared last year. What? Well, maybe it's coincidence. Yeah, he said. Though when I think about that woman said she was my mother and Orochimaru did mention her. Still, I don't believe my mother is alive. I mean, I know Uzumaki lifespan and resistance is massive and all, but I don't think having a Biju's chakra taken out and then back in wouldn't kill a host, he thought. Just write your signature in blood. Which made Kurama raise an eyebrow but quickly bit his thumb, wrote his name, and the scroll then rolled itself up before dispersing. Okay, now all you have to do to summon is take a bit of blood, just bite your thumb and slam your hand on the ground and put chakra into it. Remember, the more chakra you put into it the larger the summon will be. Okay, he said before biting his thumb. You don't have to bite your thumb again, it should already be bleeding. Actually it was all healed. Dang it, now I've got to bite it again. Well, let me see. He showed her and to her amazement was completely healed. Anyway, let's do this, he said before biting his thumb, slamming the ground before summoning Manda. Who summons me? Oh hello Enko, your sensei's been pain in the ass bit. What do you wish me to do? I didn't summon you, he did, she said pointing to the blonde. And who might you be? My name's Naruto Uzumaki, causing the snake's eyes to fly open. You must be Kushina's child. Huh, what do you know about her? That she is your mother and is working with Orochimaru. Apparently from what I can tell she was forced to leave your village. You're not lying to me, are you? Of course not. I am summon. We're bound to be truthful to our summoners on penalty of execution. Well then I don't know how to feel. On one hand I want to drop everything and find my mom, on another I want to train, and third she's working with that bastard Orochimaru. Wait, have you met him? Asked Anko. Yeah, he bit Hina-chan. Huh, where is she? We need to find. She panicked. What's the matter? She has a curse mark. How do you know? I have one. Oh, can you tell me how to control mine? Wait, you have one too? Yeah, but mine's from the Kyuubi. It's cursed seal of destruction. It doesn't have any side effect unless it's active. When active I become a killjoy, so I use sparingly. My only problem is that I am prone to random spasms of killing intent. Yeah, mine does that to ill teach you how to control it, but let's find you girlfriend, she joked at the last part. Hey, he groaned. Now do you want me to teach you? He nodded fastly as they left. Hey guys, I am still here, he said. Aw fuck it, they don't about me, I am going home. He mumbled angrily before dispersing. Hinata was resting in her favorite spot in the village, the forest of death hanging out by the Chunin exams tower, when Kurama arrived. Kurama, she said happily. Hey, who's that? Oh, this is Anko-sensei. She's been training me, but she wants to see if you have a curse, ma. He was cut off when Anko quickly removed Hinata's jacket to inspect her neck. He couldn't help but grin. He noticed Hinata's lacy bra but quickly looked the other way when he noticed Anko's scowl. Even though Hinata was blushing, she was doing her best not to faint. Shit, exclaimed Anko as she saw what she was dreading there. Planted on her neck was a mark. It was black and had 6 tomoe around it, a kanji for love, which was bizarre. What's the matter? She has a curse mark. This one seems to have a total of 4 stages from the chakra complex, seal and lock. There are several forms of complexes and this one has surpassed even my own. What's a complex? Well, most people have their own chakra network. Well, when a curse seal is made, an extra chakra network is made and generates own purple chakra or red chakra. In your case, they are then connected to your real network. In the first state they are completely unconnected with the chakra network. However, if you perform a form of the play possum jutsu and temporarily kill yourself, then contain yourself in a special sealing jutsu, the seal will connect itself to your real network, allowing the chakra to flow through your body. Supposedly farther stages allow farther integration and upgrades to your form. However, the purple chakra degrades the user's soul to that of absolute evil. I see. If it wasn't for the side effects I would be inclined to use my seal more often, but I don't want my Hina-chan to go through being well dead, making her blush as he gave her a hug. Anyway, I think we should get back to our training, don't you think, Kurama? Said Anko, which he responded with a nod. They left, but Kurama promised he would see her after he training and tell her about his cool new jutsu and what to expect at the finals. It had been 2 hours since Kurama and Hinata last saw each other, and now that Kurama had learned his uber cool jutsu, he was heading off to the ramen bar, and he quickly arrived. Sitting down, he said hello to Hinata and ordered a bowl of red miso ramen. So then what did you learn? Asked Hinata. I've learnt to summon snakes and use hidden shadow snake hands. So now you have a lot of snake jutsu. I wouldn't call it a lot, but yeah, I have learnt quite a few jutsu. Cool. Have you learnt anything? Yep, I have learnt 64 palms and I have created a jutsu based of it called Protection of the 64 Palms. Bit long, don't you think? What should I shorten it to? How about just something shorter? I guess I can call it 64 palm tama. Sickage. Look, Kurama, in the finals, if you fight Neji, I am gonna tell you a secret on how to defeat him. There's a blind spot directly behind the eyes of the Byakugan, she whispered into his ear. Thanks, that will come in handy if I fight him. You're welcome, Kurama-kun, she said as she laid her head on his shoulder. He didn't mind. He just ate his 18th bowl of ramen before nuzzling her head. It seems that we have tricked the Inazaka clan into letting our sound nen in believing we are going to kill Kuramamaru, but in reality we will burn the village hidden in the leaves to the ground, said Orochimaru as a slick, sharp-toothed grin spread across his face. I hope everything will go to plan, but I feel my children will reject me. Don't worry, I believe if we but give them enough dishonor to their villages, they'll come and be reunited with their mother, Kushina, the Q-sword master of Otogakure. Yes, Lord Orochimaru. It had been 1 long month and Kurama Uzumaki, formerly known as Naruto Uzumaki, was practicing with his new sensei Anko. At the time he was learning how to preform many hidden shadow snake hands. But now he had only 2 minutes before getting the arena. Quickly he got there and Sarutobi began his speech. Though Sarutobi was told that Otogakure was controlled by Orochimaru by one of Jiraiya's spies, he soon discovered that the Otokage was a woman. Meanwhile the case cage also sat with him. Outside Konoha. Alright, you know what to do. When Kabuto activates the Genjutsu, you two will perform your objectives while Gaara activates his Shukaku form. Yes sir, Tamari and Kankuro said. HMPH, was Gaara's only response. Meanwhile I will attack the left wall with the tri-headed snake and Manda. Meanwhile Kushina wearing the Otokage robes will attack Sarutobi till I get there. Unless she kills him, after that she will go and find her son Kurama. Be ready for anything. Even Yugara Kurama is the host of the Nine Tails, and, while Kushina has given us information on the tailed beast's abilities, we still are unaware of the boy's abilities, said Orochimaru. Trust me, if you think I am scary then Kurama is a nightmare, said Gaara, freaking them out. What? His siblings gasped. The anger in his eyes, his hate, no wonder he's so powerful. His hate drives him forward. He says that the Biju that lives within him fathered him when he was child. He told me he does not tell anybody this information other than the ones he trusts. I really hope I do not fight him, because even I, Gaara of the Sand, am scared of his abilities, making Tamari and Kankuro shudder. Gaara, stop scaring you teammates and get into your positions. They nod as they shushin out of sight. Kurama stood with the other contestants. Sarutobi had finished his speech and now the first match began. Kuramamaru Uzumaki vs Neji Hyuga. Kuramamaru grinned at this. He was hoping to get revenge on Hinata's beating during the prelims. The blonde-haired Uzumaki stood at the right end while the girl-beating pile of shit known as Neji Hyuga was on the left. Hi. Instantly the two were at each other. Neji dived in with already activated Byakugan, but Kurama dodged the attack. He combined his hand and meshed his figures together, so he could slam them into the back of the vaulting Hyuga, slamming him to the ground. He grabbed the Hyuga leg before slamming him into the ground. How could this be? I saw you when you were at the academy. You were so weak. How are you so strong? I was always strong, I just hid it. I went through so much pain as child. I think only Gaara and Hinata could understand my pain. What pain? Hinata is of the main branch. She'll away be considered superior, snarled Neji. Wrong, everyone in her clan treats her like shit. They don't see a strong and nice person, they see a weakling, and it hurts Hinata when they look at her like the way they did to me. Trust me, I've had those stares, those cold and hate-filled stares. At that moment Kushina was trembling in rage. She wanted to destroy the entire village, but she released her rage and calmed before her hidden power was released. And how would you know it's like to be me? What about me? Her clan treats me like shit too. I've been marked with a mark that has forever sealed my fate. How would you know what it like to be marked with a fate you are unwilling to accept? He said before revealing his cursed mark on his forehead. Oh wow, he started to laugh. You think you're the only cursed with a mark? How about this one? I was marked with a demonic mark and turned into a demon. But was that my fault? No, because the man I considered my brother tried to kill me. Gaara's eyes widened. You have no idea to be called something so many times that eventually you become it. I wasn't a demon, but the demon that was encased in my body chakra warped my body. I don't want to be a demon or hated, yet here I am a demon and hated. Oh Kurama-kun, I won't let this village hurt you anymore. Once mommy can hold you again, I will never let you get hurt like that, though Kushina. Kuramamaru-kun, Hinata sobbed. Why are you crying for him? He's a demon, he should die, said a stern male voice. Hinata turned around to see Kakashi. How could you say that? Simple, he's a monster, he should be killed. You bastard, yelled Hinata, but Haku stopped her from doing anything rash. Hinata, if you threaten him you be put into prison and never see Kurama again. Fine, but trust me Kakashi, I hate you. I hate your personality, I hate your patheticness, and I hate the fact that you hate Kurama-kun, and I want to kill you, she said before leaving. Why doesn't she see Naruto as a threat? And why does she kill him? Kurama? He paused, then his eyes widened. Naruto knows what happened on the night of his birth. About the kidnapping and the orchestrated attack, damn it. I wonder if he knows what happened to Kushina. Meanwhile in the stadium everyone was half horrified and half sad. Some were horrified at the village's behavior to him, others were scared of him as he claimed to be a demon. However, Neji was the most scared. Unlike the watchers, he could see the Uzumaki's chakra, and unlike the normal blue color, it was red. A thick crimson blood like scarlet red. The demonic presence he saw wasn't the only thing that scared him. First was the bizarre additional chakra complex on his forehead and shoulder, but also the seal complex on his stomach. "What are you?" he stumbled. "You're not even a demon. No, you're something more, and it horrifies me to see your foul chakra," he said, mortified. "You hurt her." "What? Hinata, you hurt her. I won't let you hurt her." "The fuck are you talking about?" Suddenly a pair of tentacles with fox-like faces appeared on each of them as they stemmed from Kurama's back. They lunged towards Neji, but he dodged them. He jumped over them as they tried to perform a second attack, but suddenly he felt a jabbing pain. It was then he found a tentacle that had erupted from the ground latched on his spine. His horrified face said it all. Then the next thing he felt was his spine being ripped out with his skull out from his ass. Killing him, the core was spilling blood out from his mouth. Organs were dangling out from his ass and the spin was red, covered with blood. Winner Naruto Uzumaki, said the afraid Hayate. The young blonde Uzumaki left without a word as his red chakra seeped back into his body. The watchers looked upon the young blonde with remorse, hate, horror, sadness, fear, pity, and finally disdain. Sasuke Uchiha vs Konkoro. Yeah, was all Sasuke could say as he passed Kurama scared shitless. "Hey, this is gonna be interesting," Konkoro said as he turned to Temari and nodded, who turned to Kabuto and nodded. The pair were standing when Hayate said hi. Everything was a blur, a Chidori there, a disguised puppet here. Either way, the pair were fighting each other at a rapid and rather entertaining pace. Still, they were now at a stalemate. Sasuke had been poisoned with a deadly poison designed by Chiyo. Only Konkoro had the vaccine, and if Sasuke didn't surrender he would die. However, the proud or arrogant Uchiha decided he wasn't going to do that. He was going to take the vaccine and win. However, fate was not on his side. Konkoro had just summoned 2 more of his deadly puppets, and trust me, the last Uchiha was having a problem fighting one, let alone 2. Now the young Uchiha had to give up or die. However, the incredibly aggressive or stupid Uchiha had continued to fight. Though the poison was taking his toll on his body, it was becoming limp and his stomach and head began to hurt. His body started internal bleeding, but it wasn't so bad to be life-threatening. It was too late. All that adrenaline had circulated the venom, and now the young Uchiha, because of his arrogance, was unable to win. He was forced to surrender to Sakura and Ino's dismay. "Winner, Konkoro," declared the proctor. The audience was stunned. The prodigies of the Konoha were both beaten easily by freaks. One was the Uzumaki heir and now widely known demon, and the other, while the son of Cage, he didn't look much. Everyone was expecting Gaara to be more powerful than Konkoro, even if he secretly wasn't the biological son of the Cage. Afterwards, Sasuke was treated by a Anbu for his internal bleeding using a highly powerful healing jutsu. "Ah, then it's time," smiled Kabuto inside his mask, before casting his genjutsu, putting the crowd to sleep. "What?" gasped the Hokage. "I am feeling tired," said a sleepy Hinata. "Wait, Kai," Haku said as she decasted the genjutsu for her and Hinata. I am all perky now, but it was genjutsu that Anbu is putting the crowd to sleep. Look, Temari and Konkoro there disappearing along with Gaara. Why would they do that?" She stopped when she connected the dots. Meanwhile, in the cage box, Sarutobi was shocked when the 2 other Cage turned him. The female purple wearing Otokage and the green wearing Cage began to fight him. He dodged their blows and ran to the roof, which was perfect. The Otokage got the sound 4 to create a barrier. Now Sarutobi was trapped and was facing off against 2 powerful Cage. "Finally, revenge is within our grasp," said the smiling Otokage to the smug Cage. "I must ask, who you are?" asked Sarutobi. My Sarutobi, have gotten forgetful? Well then allow me to show who I really am," she said as she ripped the veil over her face, revealing the face of Kushina Uzumaki. "What?" he gasped. Why? Why what? Why did you leave Naruto?" "Who?" "Kushina, Naruto, your son." "I only have 2 sons and neither of them have that name." "How can you say that? You left Naruto to fend for himself and now you pretend like he doesn't exist. Don't you understand Minato died placing the 9 tails inside him?" "Wait," she paused, "you mean Kurama?" "Huh," said the confused Sarutobi. "I've figured out my child is named Kurama. You must have named him Naruto." "Well, none of us knew what you were gonna call him, so we named him Naruto after Jiraiya's book at the time." "But why have you called him Kurama?" "Correction, I called him Kuramamaru after the 9-tailed fox that lives in him and me." In you? Yes, when Minato attempted to control the nine tails he split it in half. I absorbed the other half and once again became a host of the nine tails, but this time it was different. This time I died. What? I was mortally wounded and then I bleed out. That's when I died. Luckily Orochimaru was hoping to gain information on the current situation and then he found me. It took 4 weeks for me to recover. Most people would have died or been hospitalized for at least 3 months, but of course my Uzumaki vitality allowed me to recover faster. When I woke, Orochimaru told me about what had happened and that there was a blood barrier around the Konoha set up by Kakashi, not allowing me to get in or out. However, when Kurama had his mission in the way, the barrier was shut off because Kurama was genetically recognized as me by the barrier trapping him. I was able to slip in. Why? He paused, his hat shading over his eyes. Why would you work for scum like Orochimaru? Why would you be friends with scum like Danzo? What? Questions the confused. It was him. She paused as she clenched her fists. It was him who made me suffer. It was him that took me to Orochimaru. 13 years earlier. Ha ha, I've got it, said Kushina as she grabbed the red chain and drove into her stomach. No, yelled Minato. He watched as the chain representing the Kyuubi's chakra was absorbed into her body and fell back dead. Damn it, fuck, he roared. And now this is it, I am going to die because I had to use dead demon. He said, calming down but pissed off. He felt his chakra been eaten away by the Shinigami as his chakra fell to 0. 2 hours later. It seems that he died from chakra exhaustion, said Jiraiya grimly. Though we don't know where Kushina is, maybe she was killed in the rampage. He suggested, making the old man's skin crawl. Anbu, in poof to Anbu appeared. Yes sir. Find Kushina Uzumaki and if she is injured take her to the hospital. He paused, if not take her to my office. Meanwhile in Danzo's office. All good, so you have captured Kushina Uzumaki. Fantastic, we will have to get rid of her if I wish to make her son a member of my root. Anbu. Tut Danzo, I do not understand why you are so hasty to get rid of such an interesting subject, said a snake-like and slimy voice as a man appeared behind him. The man wore some sort of brownish clothing and a purple rope-like belt. He had white skin and golden eyes with unnatural slits in them, along with long black hair that made him look like Michael Jackson or Ozzy Osbourne. P.S. Ozzy Osbourne's a badass. Ah, Orochimaru, so you've arrived. I have the documents I believe have brought the child with the Kekkei Genkai. Orochimaru nodded as he grinned. Well then, I am guessing you interested with this red-haired woman here from previous statement. Orochimaru's grin enlarged after he said so. Well, I guess you can take her for your experiment and need to get rid of her for my plans, so do what you wish. Thank you indeed. I hope to conduct research on Uzumaki clan vitality, he said before nodding and disappearing into the shadows of Danzo's office with Kushina over his shoulders. 4 hours later. It had been 4 hours, but now the snake Sanin had left the village with his 2 accomplices, 2 Otogakure nins, and were now coming up close to rice paddy country. They had stopped to make a camp and treat Kushina's wounds a second time. After 3 minutes of healing and an injection she woke up. Where am I, huh? She paused, then her eyes widened as she identified the headbands. Ah, fuck, she repeated, terrified. Hold on Kushina, we don't want to hurt you. Bullshit, you're fucking sound nins. You're probably gonna use me as breeding material or something like those Kumo bastards. What? One of them gasped. Look, we don't want to harm you. Our cage wishes to speak with you alone. Okay, it's not like I've got any choice. They nodded and left the tent. Then the infamous snake Sanin Orochimaru appears with his Otokage robe on. Wait, holy fuck, she gasped, you're the Otokage. He nodded. Then why are you here? I am sure that you have better things to do than kidnap me. Kidnap? He questioned. Yeah, didn't you kidnap me for one of your experiments? Well, first Danzo gave you to me as payment for giving him a user of a Kekkei Genkai. What Konoha wouldn't do that? Really? I heard they used your son to imprison the yin half of the Kyuubi no Yoko. He questioned, making her eyes widened. My son, where is he? Where's Kuramamaru? She gasped. I need to find him, she yelled as she tried to get up. Calm down, the fact of the matter is that your husband has just tried to kill you and that the village will probably attack you when you get there. Danzo said that he was going to get your son into his root Anbu, however I have made sure that I will have a spy in there to prevent the indoctrination of your son. However, I have discovered that Kakashi Hitaki has created a blood barrier no longer allowing anyone of the Uzumaki clan out or in. Until someone from your clan tries to enter or Naruto's first outside ninja mission is started, it will be active, or if Kakashi dies. So I won't be able to see my son. Pretty much. Then what do you want me for? You said that Danzo is supplying you with information and that you had spies, so I can't give you any more. You can't use me as a hostage, seeing as I would be killed anyway, and only other thing I can think of is being an object of your experiment. She said, expected an evil grin from the snake Sanin that was towing over her. She got a legitimate smile in return. Ah, Kushina, how you are a surprise. You're smart, but do not listen to all the tales they tell you in the Leaf Village. However, the fact of the matter is that I am dying, Kushina, and I need to have an apprentice. Wait, you want me? Why on earth would you want me? I've only had 3A ranks and no S ranks. My chakra control is terrible. First, Kushina, you're a Uzumaki, you have incredible vitality. Second, you have too much chakra, that's why you have really bad chakra control. Third, you have your yellow chakra, and fourth, you have greatest advantage, you are the host of the young half of the Kyuubi. Wait, I can't be. It was. Memories flashed into her mind. Taken, she paused, out. Indeed it was, but you pulled it back into your body and then you died. What? She yelled. However, with a rare defibrillator jutsu we were able to restart your heart before fixing your wounds and healing your injuries with standard healing jutsu. Anyway, what I am proposing is that when I inevitably destroy Konoha, I will help you find your son. She had to think about, but it was actually pretty easy. She had 3 options. She could disappear, though she might have been killed by the Auto Nens. Go back to Konoha and get killed, or she could become strong and reclaim her son. Suffice to say, it was pretty easy. She was going to become stronger to find her son. Yes, what else am I supposed to do? Get killed or forget about him? Never. I am gonna become stronger so I can save my son from that disgusting place, making Orochimaru grin. Well then, Kushina-chan, I guess we better get to the Otogakure. Once there I shall gift you enormous strength. 13 years later. I see. Well, Kushina, I can. Shut your mouth, you piece of shit. It's not only the fact I was forced to abandon my son, but the fact that you kept him back. You stopped him from leering. If it wasn't for the Kyuubi, my son would probably be talentless. You're wrong, making Kushina eyes scowl. Anko Mitarashi had become his sensei. Really? She gasped. No doubt she was happy that he had already been taught by the ways of the snake by the young purple-haired Kunoichi. Along with the fact that she didn't have to kill her. That's good, then I won't have to kill off my old squad member and student. She paused, smiling. However, I still have to kill you. I swore that will burn this town to the ground. She once again paused. For Orochimaru-sama. Is anything wrong with him? Questioned Sarutobi. He's dying of an incurable illness. Making Sarutobi eye widen ever so slightly. I see. Still, I can't let you destroy the village. I won't let you if it kills me. There are so many young souls here. Kurama with Anko. Kakashi with Sasuke, Kurenai with Sakura, Guy with Rock Lee, Hiruzen with Tsunade. Orochimaru and Jiraiya flashed into his mind. There are so many people with connections. Kakashi with Minato, him with his pupils, Anko and Kurama at the ramen bar, Makoto and Kushina, Anko and Orochimaru, and him with the first and second Hokage. I won't let those memories die, he said as he summoned Enma, which turned to a large pole and ran towards her. Especially from someone who was once a bright young soul, he yelled but whimpered out soul, as he smashed it on the ground, which she dodged the pathetic attack. But now you're as corrupt as much as Orochimaru. Yet you don't stop to think that your village made me this way, she said as she landed on her feet. Face it, Sarutobi, your village makes monsters like me, Orochimaru, me, Madara, Danzo. She paused. Kuramamaru. What do you call you son a monster? He yelled. Did it sound like it was a bad thing? She questioned. Being a demon was the best thing that happened to me? What? How can you say that? I am not the Jinchuriki of the Red Nine Tails. I am the host of the Dark Nine Tails, a dark, more evil version than his predecessor. Only I have been the host of this demon's incredible power. I plan to reunite with my son and take him to Otto. There I will gift him with this power, and together we will live the rest of our days as a family. Though. She paused. That Hyuga girl, she seems to be in love with him. I wonder if she would be willing to come with us. Don't you dare even think about corrupting her soul too. He yelled, frustrated about Kushina being so well evil. He never had thought that she would end up like this. And now she was not only working with Orochimaru, who had corrupted her, still oblivious that his prized village was responsible. And now she planned to corrupt Hinata. Actually, Sarutobi, I can tell already that she has already corrupted the bloodlust in her eyes when my son offed that other Hyuga. She began to laugh. I mean that was family and she was happy. She continued, I can tell why my son has such an interest in that Hyuga girl. I can't say my son has bad taste in women when she is almost as sadistic as my son, she chuckled. You bitch, why have become like this? Why have you become such a heartless monster like Orochimaru? I don't understand, you've become so evil now you want to pass down that evil to Naruto and Hinata and make them auto nins. I don't get it. Because Sarutobi, all I want is to have my son back. It's been 13 years and now with the army I have confined. Take him back and he can finally be given a chance not to be hated by the villagers. She paused. I am the host of the Gakido Kyuubi no Yoko and I will destroy Konoha. Meanwhile at the south wall, Gaara of the Sand was currently fighting Haku. She had run to fight Gaara, while the others fought a group of thugs. While Sasuke had accompanied her, believing that without his Uchiha blood she would surely die. After defeating them, Kurama and Hinata decided to back up Haku. They didn't know why she was so keen to get to Gaara, but they soon found but it was bad. Strange markings covered half of Haku's body. They tried to attack but now Hinata was captured. Now Kurama was really pissed off. He felt his rage taking control as the seal began to glow and grow over his body, making his hair grow, eyes darken and a tattoo appear in his reddish flesh. You capture my friends, you hurt the ones I love, I am gonna kill you. Uzumaki Kuramamaru. He paused. Interesting, your hatred manifested your powers definitely to mine. Either way it is my job to destroy your village. If I don't kill then why do exist? Roared Gaara as his sand clinged to the side of his body. He threw his arm forward causing sand to extend towards Kurama. Kurama dodged the attack as he jumped from tree to tree dodging his blows. Kurama responded by creating two red chakra hands so he can perform Gakido Coffin. He stretched one of the hands to Gaara's body but he dodged it. However, another hand appeared that was hidden from behind him, that had hidden in the ground. As it erupted from behind him it grabbed onto Gaara. You think I am a fool? Said Gaara as it became a sand clone. The sand whisked away to the real Gaara and made him go into his second form. Shit, that didn't do any good. The only thing I can come up with is using a fire technique to make his sand to glass, but he has a large gourd of sand to replace it. So using up the chakra wouldn't help. He paused. Fuck it. It's better than nothing, he said as he went though some hand seals. Grand Fireball Jutsu, yelled Kurama. He smirked at how pissed Sasuke was. The fire clashed with Gaara's sand-covered body and turned the arm into glass. However, it was only the outer layer. Gaara had snuck a set of heat-absorbing pads into his armor that the heat wouldn't be transferred to the rest of the sand and therefore wouldn't become glass. The glass cracked away and fell on the ground. Good, very good, Kuramamaru Uzumaki. Very interesting, you're the first in a long time to be entertaining me this way. Finally I can meet someone that has at least sliver of a chance to defeat me, shouted Gaara, smiling his trademark psychopathic smile. Tell me Gaara, I know we share the same pain, but I ask, what made you this? His eyes widened. Nobody had ever given the time to think why he was a monster. They just thought he was monster, but now the blonde-haired Uzumaki heir just asked him why. I am the host of One-Tailed Tanuki Spirit Shukaku. I was adopted at a young age by the Case Cage, my adoptive father. At first he didn't know, nor did I, but when he discovered his adoptive kindness disappeared. He put me through experiments and told his ninja to try and kill me. I never knew my mother, but a man named Yashimaru was hired to fake being my uncle, but he tried to kill me. Eventually I fell into my realm of darkness. It was then He paused. I discovered the truth. My clan is your clan. Huh? Said Kurama as his eyes widened. But that's not it. I am your half-brother. Kurama eyes widened as he fell on his ass. What does that mean? You're my mother's kid or my dad's? Probably mom from the hair. Wait, then who's your dad? Gaara shrugs. I don't know. Apparently they thought a demon had with her in her sleep, because even she didn't know. She was forced out of the village and almost killed. They say she was there trying to learn new jutsu, but I was found out they were going to kill me. But then the One-Tails appeared. They planned to seal inside me the bastard demon child. But during the attack the demon used a tailed beast ball to destroy the village. After sealing him inside, the fire spread and killed all but one, who told the Chunin nins of my origins before dying. When my adoptive father found this out, he became cold and harsh to me and started to treat me bad. Eventually he had Yashimaru try and kill me. That's when I snapped and became cold like you. Then why are we fighting? We're brothers. He jumped to Gaara's tree and stood in front of him. Suddenly a massive explosion happened, burning Gaara and knocking out Kurama. When he came to, he was watching Sasuke pounding on Gaara's face even after he was knocked out. "Stop it," he screamed. "Stop it, he's my brother, he's all I have left. So what, all I care about is getting stronger, he's a stinking sand nin. You bastard, I am gonna kill you. I'll like to see you try," under all the rubble, causing Kurama to look up and see his legs crushed by a large tree. But to Sasuke's surprise, he just smiled, and now to Sasuke's horror, watched as Kurama just pushed the tree of his legs with no groan or growls, and watched the 6 disjointed points click back into place each time, making a blood-chilling crunching sound before standing on his legs that just 10 seconds ago were crushed under a tree. What the fuck are you?" he stumbled. "My name is Kuramamaru Uzumaki, and I am the son of the Kyuubi no Yoko, the nine-tailed fox." Immediately Sasuke was drenched in fear. This brat, this once feeble-looking and loud-mouthed brat, suddenly turned into the most fearsome, bloodthirsty ninja Sasuke had ever seen, more than Gaara, Orochimaru and Zabuza put together in only 13 words. "I am the son of the Kyuubi no Yoko, the nine-tailed fox." "What, you can't be that obscured. Believe it," he said, smirking at all the times he used to say that line, but now laced with a sadistic and evil intent. "Anyway, you better piss off before I'll have to punish you. Shut you up, I am an avenger, I am gonna kill my brother, kill them, my family." "And what are you doing killing my family?" making Sasuke's eyes widen as he looked at the wounded Gaara. Suddenly he realized something, he was just like Itachi. Meanwhile Hinata was waking up, but she awoke, she was in the Hyuga mansion. She was confused, the last thing she remembered was being slammed into the tree by Gaara's sand arm. But now she was home. She walked to the door where the wrapped up, almost mummified Neji lay. Hinata smirked, though she didn't realize it yet. She walked up to the front door. From here she could see everything: the large smoke stream bellowing from the hospital, the tri-headed snake spitting acid, the humongous fire that stretched from the town center where Ichiraku's was to the academy, the massive artillery fire from the forest, and the surprising loud sound of clashing kunai. That when she realized the sound of the kunai was nearby inside her own home. She ran upstairs where she saw her father fighting several Kumo nins and her sister Hanabi, who was unconscious on the floor in the corner of the room. She rushed to her little sister, sliding on her knees. As she looked at her sister, she was knocked out, no bleeding or any signs of internal injuries. She spotted the large newly developed bruise on her shoulder. Instantly she knew that she had been knocked out like that. She then turned her attention to her father, who was fighting even more Kumo nins. She put together that they were taking the opportunity to gain the Byakugan. It made her sick to the stomach that her sister would be treated this way as mere breeding material, even more than herself being used as one. "Arg!" yelled the last Kumo nin as Hiashi closed his last chakra point, killing him. "I am going to assist with preventing the invasion to continue. You stay here and guard your sister." "Why? The branch member can do that, I want to help." "No," he said firmly. "Why? 'Cause you're weak." "Shut up, you bastard," screamed Hinata. Hiyashi's eyes widened. He never saw his daughter like this. "All you see is a fuck up. A mistake. All you care about is replacing me with my little sister. Well, guess what? Ever since I started meeting up Kuramamaru-kun, I've become more stronger than anyone. Might I remind you that boy just killed you, cousin. So you were probably trying to find a way for me to replace by him anyway," she retorted, making him freeze. "Why did you get like this? Why?" Her hair covered up most of her face. "Because you selfish son of a bitch tried to destroy my skills. You dismissed me like I was nothing, like I was a lab rat, like I was expendable. I am your daughter." "Shut up, you brat. Ever since you've started hanging out with the Uzumaki brat, you've become so aggressive." "So what? It's not like if I was aggressive you'll care. You don't what you're talking about. Let's be honest here, Dad," saying her father's title insultingly. "Ever since Mum died you never stepped up to the plate of caring. You thought that was Mum's job and that you could fuck off up the village council." "Shut up, you wench," he yelled as he lurched towards her with a bulled-up fist. Suddenly he was in the corner of the room. He had almost all but several chakra points closed. He looked up to see his daughter with her hand out with a red sphere of energy in her hand. Her body was surrounded by an aura of blue chakra before him. She put her hand out. "Hirotama," she said before Hiashi was engulfed in a red and black blast of pure satanic chakra. She smirked at the bloody corpse that was Hiashi and left. She washed the blood of her clothes, got a new outfit consisting of a purple mesh vest, black hoodie, the same pants and a pair of black sandals. She took Hanabi to the secret hideout and wrote a note saying the following. Dear reader, you are probably of the Hyuga clan. I recently placed my sister Hanabi here for safety as Kumo Nins attempted to steal the Byakugan from my sister. My father attempted to stop them, but he was overpowered by an incredibly powerful foe. I escaped and came here. I hope my sister is safe here. I am now leaving to find my team and defend from the invasion. Hinata Hyuga. She smiled and left the hidden fortress to find Kurama. Sasuke stood there with his head in hands on his knees, realizing he was willing to kill a family to gain power just like his brother. Kurama stood over the sobbing Uchiha. Get a grip, but he continued to cry. Fine. Before anyone knew what had happened, Kurama had kicked Sasuke into a tree, causing him to be lodged into the tree. Two Jonin appeared and turned to him. Why did you do that? He was about to kill my newly discovered half-brother. Okay, we're gonna take him to the hospital and take the Suna Nin to interrogation center. Okay, and then join up with your team or Anther Scrad, which Kurama nodded to as he left. Suna Nin base 2 minutes later. The base was quite, well, at least a majority at the command center was ablaze with several compromises to their plans. Ibiki watched as a 13-year-old with yellow hair and red eyes appeared. He had Gaara of the Sand slung over his back and his name was Kuramamaru Uzumaki, formerly known as Naruto Uzumaki. He approached them and laid Gaara to the ground. What do you want? I want you to heal him. They looked shocked. Why? 'Cause he's my half-brother, making their eyes widen. Anyway, I want you to take care of him. I am gonna go find my team and do something small. He paused before smiling. But please, can you retreat? I want to have a roof over my head by the end of the day. He joked as he left. Location of the tri-headed snake. Well done, destroy them all. Everything must burn, said Orochimaru to the hydra-like snake as it spat poison and acid at the shinobi defense as he made his way to the south wall before destroying it, letting more ninja in than just the interceptors. Wait, what's that? Said Orochimaru as he looked into the sky. Several steel spheres were rushing towards him and they were on fire. The steel orbs smashed into the incoming nins and the three-headed snake, causing them to be lodged in the second head's throat. Blood splattered against the ground. A roaring hiss could be heard. Damn, this is bad shit. Several more lodged their way into the other throats. Fuck, I better leave before things get ugly, he said before leaving toward the Chunin exam stadium. Chunin exam stadium. At the moment, Kushina was winning over Sarutobi while he had his monkey pole. She would either dodge the blows or attack, and they were usually successful, so that wasn't good. Secondly, his monkey summons were useless as they could be poisoned by Kushina's snakes. And third, his chakra was running low. He could only think of using that jutsu. Well, then it comes down to this. Well, Kushina, I am glad you became a cage before you died. Actually, Lord Orochimaru is the Otokage. Making him raise an eyebrow. A woman with power like Kushina must have become a cage by now either way. And second, I am not dying here today. Oh really, dead demon consuming seal. Suddenly the Shinigami appeared behind him. Marks appeared, inaudible chanting and murmurs were whispered while beads were being tossed around his left arm. Take this. The arm extended, throw Sarutobi gut and sped towards Kushina. Look out, said Orochimaru as he jumped in front. Kushina, the hand lunged into his stomach and began to rip out his chakra. Orochimaru-sama. Kushina gasped. Dang it, well, at least I'll be able to take him out. He grunted as he pulled the chakra out of his body. After 15 minutes of struggling, Sarutobi had to sever his chakra supplies to his arms and die. He grunted as fell dead. Orochimaru-sama, are you all re? She stopped when she noticed the growing purple marks on his hands as they spread across them. Kushina-chan, we need to retreat with me injured and your chakra exhaustion. We're doomed. Though the cage is alright, his forces are being slaughtered, so are Nen's. But I haven't found Kuramamaru. We need to go. The sound force shield is weakening and their chakra is draining. We need to go. But what the point of staying? If we die, then Kurama will surely be orphaned. Look, once I find Tsunade and convince her to heal my arms, I am sure with them we can crush them and find your son. She was almost crying, but she nodded as once again this bastard village separated her from her son as the shushed away. 2 days later. It had been 2 days since the invasion, but something was amiss. Sarutobi had died, but to Kurama's dismay he didn't care. Not one bit did he feel for the old fart. He thought that the old bastard didn't tell him who his parents were, nor that there was any remnant of his clan, or even the fact there was even a clan. Kurama, finally rid of the truth-suppressing Sarutobi, decided it was time to find what had happened to Kushina, his mother. It kept echoing in his head the fact that woman said she was his mother. He began by looking in old documents and quickly found a family tree of the Uzumaki. At the top was a woman with red hair and a man with a silver-grayish color. They had 2 sons and a daughter. The 2 sons were called Senji and Ganta, while the girl was named Mito. The 2 sons had their own families, but this Mito woman had 4 sons and 2 daughters. One of the daughters had a son and a daughter. The daughter was called Hosenka, and she had an only daughter named Mito after her grandmother. The Mito had 2 sons. One went on to father a woman named Tsunade Senju. He continued to look at the other son. He fathered a couple more children which were Senju, but then one married another Uzumaki from the other brothers of the original Mito sons, and that's when he found a woman. Her name was Kushina Uzumaki. It said the child was raised in a ninja village named Uzu Shiogakure and was then taken to Konoha. The picture next to her implying a husband and son were covered in black ink and a classified mark. But Kurama still smirked. Now he knew what his mother really looked like in the flashback. His dad gave him they were blurred, but now he knew what she looked like. Afterwards he decided to give Hinata a visit. Hinata watched Kurama approach her house and smiled at him before running up to him and giving him a big hug. "Hey there, Hinata," said Kurama as he hugged her back. They had become quite accustomed to it. In fact, in the last couple of days the Konoha girls were gossiping about them being a couple, which to their surprise. "Oh, Kurama-maru-kun," she said as she hugged her deeper. "Hey, what's the matter?" He paused. "It's not because of your dad, is it?" This time she looked up at him, but now she had devilish grin on. Holding him closer he hugged her back, smiling evilly. "So then you did it?" She nodded. "Well done, my little Hina-chan," as he nuzzled her hair with his nose as she rubbed her face deeper into his chest. "Thank you, Kurama-maru-kun, you've made me stronger. Now that I've killed my father, I can finally protect you." "And I will protect you," he smiled back. "Otogakure." "Ah!" Orochimaru wailed in pain as Kabuto tried to operate Orochimaru's arms. "Dang it, Orochimaru-sama," said Kushina, torn up by it. She didn't even get to see her sons. "The only thing I can do, Lord Orochimaru, is find someone better," said Kabuto, who was unable to fix his hands. "I've got it," said Kushina. "What?" questioned Kabuto. "I'll ask Tsunade, but before you say what the hell are you on, I am going to talk to her first. She used to be my leader on my squad and I am related to her, so she'll be more inclined. We can use the resurrection jutsu to persuade her." Causing Orochimaru to nod. "Konoha, we have mission." "Kurama," said Anko. "Really, what is it?" "I am looking forward to learning some news jutsu on the way, hopefully." "Well, the mission to find the next Hokage. The council has decided to find Tsunade Senji." Kurama's eyes widened. Maybe he could ask her about his mom. Either way, he was looking forward to finding this woman. "Anyway, I want to teach you a new technique. It's called the cage blade." "Cool, what does it do?" "Watch and learn, kiddo." She put out her hand and began circulate chakra around her hand faster and faster and faster. Before the chakra was moving at speeds of 900 miles per minute. It was almost barely seen. The circulating chakra stemmed a dagger out from the front made of chakra, and the chakra circulated around her hand before pulled back and fired a missile of chakra towards a tree. The explosion devoured 8 trees. "I can do more powerful technique than that." "I know you can, but this a Swiss army knives of techniques. You can place you infinite on it. Increase you chakra storage and control. You can learn more jutsu similar to it faster and increase chakra circulation, and you can learn the upgraded forms which include snakeskin, Gakido and ultimate velocity forms," corrected Anko. "Sickage," said Kurama. "Anyway, we better go find this Tsunade woman. That the one they want?" "Sure," Kurama said as they left the gates and began to leave. But then Hinata arrived to see them of. "Hey Kurama-kun." "Hello there, Hina-chan." Anko didn't miss a beat when she realized they were in love. "Well, I just wanted to say goodbye and wish you luck. That's all for my now. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments.